Namaskar, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, respected Dean of Colleges, Professor Balram Pani, Payal Magu Madam, Director, COL, Registrar Sir, Proctor Madam, DSW Sir, respected principals, and my colleagues, and Dean Academics, Professor Haneet. We have assembled here in order to have a better understanding of how to implement national education policy. We are all aware that the university has formulated the undergraduate curriculum framework 2022 with an aim to incorporate the fundamental principles which are there in the national education policy. So whenever we as implementers of the policy take into consideration how to implement the policy, these fundamentals have to be kept in mind. So the first thing is that whatever we are doing, whether we are making courses, we are framing the syllabi, we are looking at the pedagogy that should be adopted, or we are looking at the type or mode of assessment and evaluation, the student should be the focus. There has to be flexibility given to student because the national education policy clearly talks about giving options to the students so that they are able to develop their own academic paths as per their talent and interest. So therefore, flexibility has to be kept in mind. Third thing we need to keep in mind is that NEP also talks about not having hard separations between science and arts, between curricular and extracurricular, between academic and vocational. So therefore, our curriculum and framework should be integrating most of this so that we are able to bring in multidisciplinarity as well as holistic education. The innovations and entrepreneurship, when the Honorable Prime Minister talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is so much dependent upon research, so much dependent upon critical thinking and analysis. Therefore, our structure should have options for bringing in research within the curriculum. We also don't want to produce a student who is just academically oriented, who does not have compassion towards others, or who is not aware about the constitutional values. So therefore, the value education is also very important. That's why we talk about embedding within the curriculum ethics, human and constitutional values. And when we are giving education, which is going to empower our youth as well as, I will say, improve the economy and development of our country, is very important to bring in equity, accessibility and inclusion. And we all know that unless we understand our own cultural rooting, unless we understand our own ethics, which is so much ingrained in the languages that we have, the diverse language that we have in India, and the policy talks about multilingualism, so therefore we have to promote multilingualism. And with regard to this particular point, we already know that the university is going to facilitate the colleges in providing education for those languages where college may not have a particular faculty to teach a language. Say for example, every college may not have a teacher teaching Tamil language. But maybe there are students who would like to opt. Maybe there are 5 in one college, 4 in another, 5 in another. So all these students can be clubbed together and university can facilitate to provide a teacher who can teach through online mode. So that the option is available to a student to learn such languages. I would say, constraints of resources should not be a hurdle in the process of providing multilingualism. Conceptual understanding has to be given to students. We have to focus on how to give that conceptual understanding and analytical thinking so that students do not, are not focusing upon rote learning, which is something we need to give up. So our way of teaching as well as our assessment and evaluation should keep in mind, and the curriculum that we frame should be keeping in mind all these concepts. So these fundamental principles of NEP are required to be implemented through our undergraduate curriculum framework 2022, because all these aspects have been ingrained and embedded in this structure, so that when we implement it, because because when we talk about implementation of NEP, it's a policy driven. It has so many ideals, but how to translate those ideals in a workable format, a structure is required. And that's why we have this undergraduate curriculum framework. So when we talk about the implementation, we already have done a small part of the exercise, that is develop the curriculum. So first semester syllabi is ready. It has been approved by the Academic Council and Executive Council. It is ready to be implemented. We will be sharing with you all very soon on the website. And second is the pedagogy, because you may have a very, very good curriculum, but unless how are you going to deliver that particular curriculum to the students is dependent upon the pedagogy that is adopted. So therefore, the pedagogy cannot be just a lecture method. We have to devise ways, and unless we train the teachers with different available pedagogies, we will not be able to deliver. Now, if I don't know how many of you may have had a look at the draft undergraduate, a 4-year undergraduate curricular and credit framework, which is shared by the UGC. If you look at it, it talks about different methods of teaching. It is lecture methods, student activities, practicum, lab-based learning, you have field work. There are so many things that are ways we can deliver the curriculum. But how to deliver it, what will be the best mechanism to deliver that particular curriculum will depend upon the nature of the curriculum. So therefore, training of the teachers are very, very important on the pedagogy part of it. I think till the time we start our session from the 1st of November, all colleges should be involved in giving that kind of training with respect to pedagogy to the teachers, so that they are able to take forward what is there in the curriculum and deliver it to the students. We all know that skills and values are to be imparted. For skill education, we already have 43 skill courses which are approved by AC and EC. So out of that, one needs to choose and then provide options to the student to learn it. We have value addition courses. 24 of them are approved by the AC and EC. And the assessment part, we will take it up a little later, because that will be followed once we start with the curriculum. So if you look at the category of courses, we have discipline-specific courses, and discipline-specific courses, as the name suggests, and as you are already aware of it when we implemented CBCS, is a mandatory core course which is to be taught in a program. So when you are talking about single core discipline program, say for example, you are talking about BA Honors in English, that means the core discipline that is going to be taught for such a program will be English only. Similarly, for BAc Honors in Physics, the core discipline will be only physics, right? So, and in case of multidisciplinary programs, say you have in the case of science, you have BAc Life Science program, where you have 3 disciplines learning, that is botany, zoology, chemistry. Or you have the BA program, where you have 2 combinations, 2 disciplines are studied as a core. So you have BA program in economics and mathematics. So these 2 will be the core discipline. Then you have the discipline-specific elective, and these are again related to the core discipline that are being studied. And whenever we say that it is elective, it is implicit that you are going to give choices to the student to pick. And why we are talking about choices? Because every discipline has different domains for specialization. Say when you talk about BAc Honors in Physics, one may talk about mechanics, one may talk about optics, thermodynamics, and so on. So if a student wishes to specialize later, in a particular area of physics, he or she can pick up those specific areas, and those specializations can be developed through discipline-specific electives. Then we have the generic elective courses which are to be provided by the departments, but as we all know in CBCS, generic electives are meant for students who do not belong to the parent department offering that particular course, because this is meant to be offered to students outside the department so that the other students studying a different discipline may be able to get the a multidisciplinary perspective. So maybe a student who may be studying, say, environmental science may like to take up, because he may be interested in involving in, say, sustainable ways of involving community in environmental measures. So in such a case, a student may be only studying about science, and he may think that why don't I study how to take whatever I have learned to the community, how to build a rapport with the community so that they are made aware of such measures and they are participating in the process of sustainable development. In that case, he may opt for a course of social work where you have how to connect with community. So therefore, it's a very, very different subject altogether. But then it is relevant, and we are talking about student having the liberty and flexibility to choose the courses to, enhance his skill and then develop, a unique, I would say, specialization or unique skill that he's able to use his potential and interest to deliver when he starts to work, whether he may be working for an employer or he may be an entrepreneur and ready to give jobs to others also. So, and we have 3 more courses other than these, that is ability enhancement course, skill enhancement course, and value addition courses. Now these are all the 3 are 2 credit courses, whereas the previous 3 types of courses that you have seen, these are 4 credit courses. Now ability enhancement course, if you can see, it consists of 2 groups of courses. You have environmental studies, and the other is the pool of Indian languages. So when you talk about these 2 types of courses, the 2 courses will run in flip mode. So maybe half of the student may be studying in the first semester environment, the other half will be studying Indian language. Now the range of Indian language available to a student to choose are the 22 languages which are already listed in the 8th schedule of our constitution. So all these ranges have to be provided. You can't say that you just have 2 teachers of 2 languages. Say maybe you have Hindi and you may have Bengali, but you don't have other teachers. So you can't say that we are not offering the other languages. Kindly offer all 22. Let's see how many students are willing to take up, because ultimately we want, in case if there is no teacher, then the university will facilitate online learning of that particular language. In case if a neighboring college has a teacher teaching a particular language course, that can be utilized. So therefore, we are going to come up with the concept of clustered colleges, which we'll be calling as knowledge network. And these cluster colleges will be coordinating amongst themselves so that they are able to provide maximum options to the students in terms of, it can be generic elective, it can be skill enhancement course, it can be ability enhancement course in terms of languages, because I think every college has teachers teaching environmental studies, so I think that's not an issue. But then we are talking about ability enhancement course in the context of Indian language. Then you have skill enhancement course, as if you have seen the courses that are being approved by they have been approved by the AC and EC. The skill enhancement course mainly are basically focusing upon 2 types of skills in the first semester. One is a very general skill where you talk about communication skill or business writing skill, business communication skill, or computer application skill, which I think is very, very relevant for any kind of, for any student pursuing any kind of program. And the other type is where a student may like to focus upon more on, say, finer areas like Python, coding, etc. Then you have value addition courses where we have the chairperson of the value addition committee here, Professor Niranjan. And there are 24 of these courses which are mainly aimed towards personality development, embedding ethical, cultural, and constitutional values, promoting critical thinking, Indian knowledge system, scientific temper, and so on. So these are the range of courses you will see in each semester in every undergraduate program. Now coming to the definition, many times people ask if you have credit distribution of a particular course, 3 lecture, 1 tutorial, and 0 practical. And there can be another combination where you can have, say, 3 lectures, 0 tutorial, 1 credit for practical. So they tend to ask how many hours of practical. So that is provided in the definition of academic credit. And academic credit is a unit by which the coursework is measured. It determines the number of hours of instruction required per week. 1 credit is equivalent to 1 hours of teaching. That is, whether you are having tutorial, whether you are having a lecture, 1 hour. 1 credit is 1 hour per week. And in case of practical or field work, it is 2 hours per week. So when 1 hour of practical is done, 1 in a week, for 15 weeks, the credit earned will be only 0.5. So therefore, in order to earn 1 credit of a practical, from practical, you have to have 2 hours of in a week, right? For 15 weeks. Whatever we are talking in a semester, we are considering it as 15 weeks, total 15 weeks, okay? Now coming to the structure. Any questions still here before we proceed? Yes. Can somebody please give a mic to her? अभी तक ठीक है? I'll just take one question and we'll move ahead. Okay, maybe you can try speaking. No. Yes. See, whenever we are talking about generic elective, it should be something different from the one which has been opted as a core. So if you have 2 disciplines as a core, GE will be something different. So you have, say, chemistry, physics, and mathematics as the core discipline in a BSc Physical Sciences, BSc program in Physical Sciences. You have maths, physics, and chemistry, right? So your GE will be something different from maths, physics, and chemistry. Okay? Right? I hope it's clear. I think we'll take it after this. I think that was important, a point which I missed out. So, yeah, coming to table 3 of the UGCF, this is a structure which we are going to follow for single core discipline program, where we are talking about honors in 3 years. Now, let me share you one very important point, which query generally comes in this area, that will the honors, honors will be given after 3 years, or all honors will be given after 4 years? This is a very, very common question that one gets. So, in the case of our structure as of now, honors will be given at the end of 3 years if the student is pursuing a single core discipline program. In case if a student is pursuing multiple core discipline program, where we conventionally, as of now, we are calling as program courses, BA program, BSc program, BCom program. All these students will be awarded honors at the end of 4 years. So at the end of 3 years, they will be given a simple degree without honors. Okay? So I'll explain you why this differentiation is there. But let's have a look at the structure first of all. So you have the core discipline courses, in the first semester, a student will be studying 3 core, discipline-specific core papers, 1 generic elective paper, that means any discipline other than the core. Then you have ability enhancement course, where a student may be opting for environmental studies, environmental science, or an Indian language, whichever he or she prefers. Then the student will choose 1 value addition course. In all, a student will be studying 7 courses. Fine? But if you look at the number of credits, 12 credits out of 22 shall be earned from the core. Because NEP always talks about having an in-depth knowledge in 1 or more discipline. So therefore, 50 or more than 50% focus of the study is always on the core discipline. Fine? So similarly, we will, in the second semester also, same pattern is followed. You'll have 3 discipline-specific core, then 1 generic elective from the pool of courses, then 1 ability enhancement course. So if a student has studied in the first semester in ability enhancement course, environmental science, then he or she will study now in the second semester an Indian language of his choice. Okay? So these 2 categories of courses will be offered in flip mode. Then you have skill enhancement courses. From the pool, a student will be able to choose 1. And the last is the value addition course. Again, from a pool, a student has to choose 1. Now, some teachers have raised a query. Can we offer 1 skill enhancement course in our college? Can we offer 1 value addition course in our college? I said, if you look at UGCF, and if you understand the spirit of NEP, when we say pool can never be 1. It has to be more than 1. So kindly, we have to ensure that there is enough choices for the students to pick up. We cannot tell the student, you pick up this skill enhancement course. We don't have teachers, we are offering only 1. Now that's why, again, I'm coming to this same thing. That's why we need to make cluster colleges. Fine? We need to maximize our available resources, whether it's teachers or infrastructure, whatever. Now, at the end of first year, after completing the first and second semester, a student will be able to earn 44 credits, right? And if he or she wishes to exit, then the student shall be awarded undergraduate certificate in that field of study after securing the mandatory 44 credits. Okay? So that's why we had requested the departments and the college teachers also participated in the committee of courses, that when you make the courses, the syllabi, kindly ensure that out of the 6 discipline-specific core, ensure that 1 is an application-based course. Fine? And also try to map it with the kind of skill that we should be providing. That a student who exits at the end of first year should be able to get employment or have employment opportunities better than what he would have got after passing just class 12. So therefore, an attempt has been made. Let's see how we as a system are successful in, implementing that with that spirit. Now, second year, that is the third semester, if you look at it, we have 3 discipline-specific core again to be studied, and there is a choice given to student either to choose 1 discipline-specific elective or choose 1 generic elective. Now, what is the rationale behind this choice? Why are you giving choices? See, let me tell you that NEP always talks about giving choices to student. So there may be a student who would not like to diversify his knowledge but focus on 1 core discipline and study. If he is that type of student who wishes not to diversify but only study his core discipline, then he should be given the choice. So let him either choose 1 discipline-specific elective. And there may be others who may think that, okay, I'm studying this as a core, but let me see what are the other, disciplines. Say, if you talk about, say, he or she may be thinking about, say, water management. Or you talk about, biochemistry. So the person may be, studying botany honors, but he would like to pick up courses of chemistry, so that because he would like to now go for biochemistry kind of, specialization later on. So maybe he would like to pick, courses from chemistry while studying botany as a core. So those kind of options are to be given. So that's why we have either the student can choose one discipline specific elective from the pool, or a generic elective, whichever he chooses. Then the rest, you have one ability enhancement course again. So if environment 1 and language 1 has been studied, then the student will be studying environment 2 and language paper 2 in the ability enhancement course in second year. Then again, since we are talking about multiple entry exit, when we talk about skill enhancement courses, whether you are giving lecture or whether you are giving, say, hands-on learning in skill enhancement courses, a student has to sit in a classroom and study. But when we are talking about multiple entry exit, if a student wishes to exit after getting a diploma, it would be more beneficial for him to go for internship or apprenticeship. In case if he wants to be a social worker, maybe going for a community outreach may be more helpful than sitting in a classroom and studying the skill enhancement courses. So therefore, this particular choice is given, that either you study skill enhancement course, or if you don't want to study skill enhancement course, go for internship, go for the apprenticeship, or maybe you associate with the project, or you go for community outreach. So these are the options which are available to a student, and we have to make these choices available at the level of the college where the actual implementation will be taking place. Then again, we have value addition course in the second year, the third semester and fourth semester. So there can be, different course which he or she will be studying. Now, one thing which I would like to mention with respect to skill enhancement courses is that there are certain courses which may have very close relation with a discipline. Say, for example, a student who is studying BSc Computer Science, he will not be allowed to opt for computer skill enhancement course in computer applications, basic applications, okay? Because, that means he is not upgrading his knowledge. He is just trying to opt for a simple way out. So that is not going to be given to students. So if you are a student of, already specializing in that particular discipline, then in that case, say for example, paper on, I think, science and society. So science students should not be given this option to opt for science and society. It should be meant for students who are pursuing humanities, social sciences and arts, right? So because we want the student to have a diverse knowledge, that is the so if you talk about, so therefore every course that is there in the pool of skill enhancement course or value addition course will have certain riders to ensure that student pursuing a particular course as a core and its allied areas in the skill or value enhancement courses, they should not be allowed to opt, so that they are able to study other courses and diversify and enhance their knowledge in those other areas. When we put up on the website, it will be specified so that there is a clarity. It is right now not specified. Jo abhi. Sir, see, we have to talk about raising the standard of education. This is what, because that's why I started my presentation with the principles. Ji. No, sir. I think there is some confusion. Let me clear it. Skill enhancement courses specific to a discipline will be coming very soon in the, next semester onwards, right? It will be a discipline specific course because we want the student to have the requisite skill. Say for example, when we talk about student who is pursuing BAc, in microbiology, we would want him to have the skill of doing pathological tests in a lab. If he exits, he should be employable in that particular sector. So therefore, what I am saying is a skill which already a basic skill at that level. For example, computer application you will be teaching only how to use Word, how to use Excel, how will you prepare presentation using Microsoft. These are very, very basic, and that's why we are saying that somebody who is pursuing computer science should not be opting for those courses. And maybe I think a call needs to be taken whether it will be left the colleges or university will provide a guideline on this. Now coming to the end of second year, a student will be able to earn a total of 88 credits. And if the student exits at the end of 2 years, he or she shall be awarded diploma, undergraduate diploma in that particular field of study. Okay? Now coming to the third year, you have the 5th semester. In 5th semester, again, there are 3 core papers to be studied. Then there is one compulsorily, because by this time, by second year, student may have seen, diverse things about other disciplines. Now he or she has to have a discipline-specific elective. So that's why we made it compulsory that in the 5th semester, there should be one discipline-specific elective to be chosen from the pool. Then one G will also be compulsory to be taken up, which can be taken up from an allied subject also or otherwise. It's free to the student. Then the ability enhancement course will now be, not taught from 5th semester onwards. It's finished. Value addition and ability enhancement, all these courses will end in the 4th semester. So from 5th semester, you are focusing on the discipline-specific elective, GE, internship, skill enhancement courses, all these will be there. And this will lead to securing 132 credits at the end of the 6th semester. So if you look at the pattern, semester 1 and 2, you have the same uniform pattern. 3 and 4, you have a uniform pattern where you have choices between DSE and GE, right? And if you come to the 5th and 6th, you have again a uniform pattern. But every semester, the credits to be earned are uniform, 22 per semester. So at the end of 3 years, a student, if he or she exits, he or she shall be awarded bachelor in that field of study. In case of single core discipline program, honors will be awarded after securing 132 credits. Then coming to, in case if a student wishes to, go for the 4th year, fine. We have made a provision to study research methodology as a discipline-specific elective in the 6th semester. Because unless you have a proper grounding on research methodology, you cannot start writing a dissertation. Leave alone writing a dissertation, but choose a problem appropriately. Do even review of literature on that particular topic. So therefore, it is desirable that any student who would like to go for 4th year of 4-year undergraduate program should study the research methodology as a discipline-specific elective. Now, why we have put it in elective, even though we would want everybody to study research methodology, maybe some student may not have that orientation to do research. So he or she may think, why should I study research methodology? So that's why we have shifted from GE. First we put in GE, but then every field has its own, nuances of doing research. Fine. Even data analysis, the way you do in statistics, the way you do in biology, fine, the way you do in genetics and some other field of study, that may be a little different. So that's why from GE it was brought to discipline-specific elective, so that we don't make it mandatory, make it a choice to the student who wishes to study, let him or her study. Now, say a student, Because we know how students are, they get influenced by their friends, by their peers, right? He or she may think that let me exit after 3 years, I'll find a job, I won't do the 4th year. So he chooses not to study research methodology in the 6th semester. Now, can we say that he has missed the bus and therefore he will not be studying research methodology? No. An option is given to study research methodology, same paper again in the 7th semester. So that compulsorily he has that conceptual building in research by learning that particular paper. But the thing is that he has to study the research methodology paper as discipline-specific elective. At the same time, he has to now formulate his research problem, do survey of literature. So maybe it will be quite a taxing time for him because he needs to understand first of all and then implement. But in case if he has studied in the 6th semester, it makes things very simple because he already has a grounding, and now what he has to do is, whatever he has learned in the research methodology, he has to now start implementing, experimenting. So that's why we have this research methodology as an DAC in semester 6 and 7. Now if you come to semester 7 and 8, you will notice a stark difference. Now you don't have 3 discipline-specific core anymore. You have just one single discipline-specific core paper. Now also we need to relate that whoever is going to study the 4th year, if he goes for the master program, he or she is going to study only 1 year of master to get a master's degree. So somewhere there has to be correlation or, between what we teach in the 1st year of the master's degree program and what we are teaching in the 4th year. So ultimately, because, only 1 year of master program will be enough for such student to get a master's degree. So therefore, a core paper is there. But then, as we go ahead or progress towards, specialization, the discipline-specific elective becomes much more important. Whenever we say core, that means the student has to compulsorily study that paper. Fine. Core is compulsory. And that's the only compulsory course, I would say. Isn't it? The rest discipline-specific electives are the specializations which you will be giving. So, therefore, in the 4th year, you have the focus on discipline-specific elective, while the core is only 1 paper, and discipline-specific elective, maximum 3 paper per semester. In semester 7 and 8 will be studied from a pool of courses again. So we can't say these are the 3 discipline-specific electives available to you, you opt for it. No, if there are 3, we have to provide at least 6 discipline-specific core courses. When there is 1 discipline-specific elective to be opted, there should be at least 3 options available, minimum. Okay? Now, coming to, again, the choice part of it. So many students may find that he or she may start with a science course. Maybe he has, he changed his interest and liking because remember, he has been studying 4 GEs. Minimum 4 GEs he would be studying first 6 semester, and he might find a particular discipline to be more interesting and he would want to minor in that particular subject. So for minoring in a particular subject other than the core, the student has to pick up at least 7 GEs of that discipline. So somebody who is doing, say, physics honors, now he wants to minor in psychology. Fine. So he has to at least opt 7 GE papers of psychology to get a minor in psychology. Okay? So in a undergraduate program where there is only 1 core discipline, through the generic elective only the student will be able to create minor subject or minor discipline. Okay? So GE becomes very important for those honor students who would like to minor in a different discipline. So it can be, you have BA program in economics and mathematics. Economics may be, that I'll come, multidisciplinary I'll come later. But any student who is pursuing a single core discipline program may minor in a different discipline if he or she is able to choose or study 7 GEs of that discipline. अगर इंग्लिश में माइनर करना है then student has to pick 7 GEs from English. Then only he will minor in that particular discipline. ठीक है? So at the end of regarding the dissertation part of it, when we talk about single core discipline program, a student already has studied, you know, minimum, if you can see, you have, if you look at the core, the column on discipline specific elective, there are 20 core disciplines which are already studied. Okay? And if you look at the discipline specific elective, if a student chooses from the third semester discipline specific elective, you have 1, 2, 3, then 4, and then there are 3 each in the 7 and 8 semester, so 10 discipline specific elective. So student would have studied 20 discipline specific core and maximum 10 discipline specific elective. So he has studied 30 papers focus on one discipline only. So therefore, if he has a research bent of mind, the student may choose to write dissertation on that particular major, that single discipline, or in case if he has developed a flavor in a particular GE, fine, to make it a minor, he may also write a dissertation on the minor. Or if he wants to look at the intersection of or interplay or interdisciplinary research on the minor and major together, वो भी हो सकता है. So, but then a student may not want to go for dissertation also. Then he can choose academic project as a track. Or third, student may also choose.
In order to get minor, you know, even if he does 6 different specific electives, 6 into 4, 24, and then 6 credits, 28. You know, there is credits in the dissertation will also be completed.
Sir, I'm only talking about single discipline specific core. DSC भी एक ही सब्जेक्ट का होगा, DSE भी एक ही सब्जेक्ट का होगा. डिसिप्लिन स्पेसिफिक कोर भी सेम सब्जेक्ट है, डिसिप्लिन स्पेसिफिक इलेक्टिव भी सेम है फॉर सिंगल कोर डिसिप्लिन प्रोग्राम. मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी पे मैंने अभी नहीं आया है. That's true, sir. But we are not looking at minoring within a discipline. Fine? That specialization will be indicated by the mark sheet itself. In what is the area of specialization? That will be indicated by the mark sheet. But when we talk about minor and major, we are talking about in a single core discipline program, a discipline which is different from the core. So GE mein there are 10 option maximum. If you, not, one second, let me just take you back. So if you look at the number of GEs, you have 1 in the first semester, second, then in third and fourth, there is an option to choose for GE. So you have already now, if you choose, then it becomes 4, fifth and sixth, then you have 6 again, then you have 4 in the 7 and 8. So in total, a student will have 10 GEs maximum to be studied, fine, whereas compulsory is only 4. But choice is there to study up to 10. And out of that 10, if a student wishes to minor, he has to choose 7 of a particular discipline. तभी minor होगा. ठीक है? Yes, yes. No, ma'am, we do not want to see. Here we are not talking about writing. Writing a dissertation on minor is fine. But you can, we are talking about GE papers because 7, so that 7 should be there. Yeah. Okay. Now coming to entrepreneurship, we are trying to bring in entrepreneurship as skill enhancement course. See, total credit to be earned is 28. There's no doubt about that. Fine. उसमें UGCF में अगर देखेंगे वहाँ specified नहीं है, but we would see if you talk in terms of specializing, because even minor can become a course of study for your PG program. Fine. So therefore, if you're going to do PG program, that too for 1 year, then it is better that you study 7 out of 10 in a particular G. If you want to write a dissertation, that's an addition.
So it means that if a student has done 7 minors, he is eligible for PG in that particular minor.
Yes, yes. But then that's why I'm saying when we are talking about focus study, और 1 साल का ही आपने masters पढ़ना है, so I think it's better to interpret that 7 Gs out of 10 पढ़े और चाहे तो registration भी लिख ले. हाँ? PG की नहीं बात कर रहे हैं. See, I will just take you to the UGCF. मैं आपको UGCF में ले जाती हूँ. Just give me a minute. I'll show you. I'll show you the exact. नहीं तो एक वहाँ पे वो है. One second. I'll just. One second. One second. I would like to take you to the UGCF. Ultimately, UGCF is a document that has been, passed by AC and EC. So, rather than me interpreting, let's have a look at what is there. Okay? Yeah. It says, पता नहीं इसमें actually ये वो है. Fine. Nitin, can you please check why it's not? हाँ.
Yeah, she's just trying to bring it up. ये कुछ check करिए आप.
See, if I read it out from the UGCF, it says, आपके पास अगर UGCF है, then you can refer to page number, yeah, ठीक है? हाँ. So it says a student mentioned, now just because I was copying, pasting, 3A tha, anyway. So it means a student who is pursuing a single core discipline program may be awarded minor in a discipline on completion of 7th semester if he or she earns minimum 28 credits from 7 GE courses of one discipline. For example, if a student pursuing BA Honors History chooses 7 GE courses of political science out of a total of 10 GE courses and writes dissertation, he or she shall be awarded on successful completion of 8th semester major in history and minor in political science. ये है multidisciplinary वाला. Now let me come to the major. Yeah. So this is the major single core discipline program, where if the student secures in that discipline at least 50% of the total credits, that is 88 credits in that discipline, ये major हो गया, out of the total of 176. And in case of single core, he shall study 20 Gs, DSEs and at least 2 DSEs in 8th semester. For instance, a student who pursues BCom Honors shall earn minimum 88 credits from 20 DSEs and at least 2 DSEs in order to get major in commerce. तो ये है single discipline program का. Now minor in a single core discipline program. Yeah. So इसमें तो minor BA Honors History का है, minoring in political science, because political science he is choosing as GE. Then in that case it is said that out of 10, 7 GEs करना है and write a dissertation. See, dissertation on a minor, on the same discipline. ठीक है, major, fine, ठीक है. So I think it's clear that it's not that you add up 28 from dissertation. Fine, we would like that out of 10, 7 should be focused on that particular discipline, right? Designation, yes. Now coming to table, Hanji. See, if you look at the, अभी जो मैंने शेयर किया वो कट पेस्ट ही किया है इस UGCF से. So it is, हाँ, उसमें minor जो है, because you know, such a person is going to have that opportunity to choose as a master's degree, you know, discipline. So that's why that much of focus is required. See, we are saying that 28 credits उसमें लेना है because already major का तो आपके पास बहुत सारे credit है. Hmm. $28 credits में होगा, but I think the essence is that there should be focus on the dissertation. See, dissertation में हमने ये नहीं बोला कि minor major ही कर लो, minor ही कर लो या major ही कर लो. There is a choice. If you look at the table, I would like to draw your attention to this. Dissertation on major or dissertation on minor or academic project oblique entrepreneurship. ठीक है? So minor में भी लिख सकते हैं. बट माइनर बनने के लिए जीई 7 तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. मेजर में भी करेंगे, कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज राइटिंग अ डिसर्टेशन यू हैव अ चॉइस वेदर टू राइट. आई थिंक, मे आई ड्रॉ योर अटेंशन मैडम? हाँ जी. सो टू गेट अ माइनर यू हैव टू डू 7 GE, चाहे आप डिसर्टेशन उस माइनर में लिखो या मेजर में लिखो. ठीक है? वन सेकेंड, मैं आपको आगे का दिखाती हूँ. आई जस्ट शो यू. ठीक है? हाँ, इफ यू कम टू द मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी में भी देखिए आप जी बनाने के लिए क्या चाहिए. ठीक है? इन मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी यू आर हैविंग डिसिप्लिन्स, fine, more than one. So if you have three core discipline programs जैसे BSc में होता है, then you already have 3 core discipline program में 3 discipline जो है ABC करके आप you will have to study. Let me just take you to the table first. ठीक है? हाँ, this table 6, if you look at it, there are 3 disciplines. Discipline A1, B1, C1. So you have 3 different disciplines as a core. So in 6 semesters, you are studying 6 papers of A, 6 papers of B, and 6 papers of C as a core. Fine. Now, if you come to the DSEs can be of A, of B, of C. It's up to the student whether to choose DSEs of discipline A, B, or C. ठीक है? But compulsorily, he will be studying 6. Now, in such a case, here GE is not going to form the minor in multidisciplinary program. Minor will be formed only from the core because till sixth semester you will be studying all 3 papers, 3 disciplines का आपको 6 papers पढ़ने हैं. Now if you come to the fourth year of such a program will not be dedicated to the study of 3 disciplines, but a student has now to choose only one and proceed ahead. अगर ABC पढ़ा है 3 discipline, 3 years, 4th year, the person has to choose either A or B or C. ठीक है? He cannot choose all the 3 in the 4th year. Right? Because 4th year is again a focus study. So that's why we have either A, B, or C, the person will be studying. Then the 3 DSEs will be there, fine, along with G in case if a student wishes to opt. But however, if you look at this particular scheme, what you find is that a student will be able to study, if you look at till the 4th year. मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी में आपका 6 पेपर्स हो गए कोर और 8 सेमेस्टर तक आपका कोर जो है 8 पढ़ेंगे. एंड इफ यू लुक एट द टोटल DSEs, discipline specific elective is a total of 10. In case in the 3rd and 4th semester a student chooses to opt for DSE rather than GE, तो आपकी total DSE 10 बन जाती है. Now if a student wishes to major in one of these 3 disciplines, then in that case he has to study obviously 8 core, 6 in the first 6 semester, 2 in the 4th year, and he has to pick out of the 10 DSEs. अगर सब डिसिप्लिन ए में मेजर करना है तो उस 10 में से 9 DSEs should be from A discipline. Then only the student will be able to major in that A discipline. Otherwise, he will not have any major. He will be just having after the end of 4th year, honors degree in BSc Life Science. That's it. अगर साइंस आपका बॉटनी केमिस्ट्री zoology वाला अगर मान लो as an example, if you take that as an example, ठीक है? So therefore, a student has to be carefully guided. In case if he or she chooses to major in one of these 3 disciplines, he should be guided that whenever you choose the DSEs, out of 10, you should focus 9 in one discipline, जिसमें आपका interest है ज़्यादा उस बच्चे का, तो 9 DSEs लेंगे और कोर तो पढ़ेंगे ही पढ़ेंगे उस डिसिप्लिन का 8, then only the student will be able to and write a dissertation obviously on discipline A only, then only he'll be able to get major in that discipline. अगर B और C डिसिप्लिन में माइनर करना है, 6 पेपर्स तो ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं, एक DSE जो 10 में से एक DSE रहता है, अगर B वाले को माइनर बनाना है, B में आपका 6 कोर पेपर्स पढ़ चुके हैं 3 इयर्स में, और एक डिसिप्लिन स्पेसिफिक इलेक्टिव अगर उन्होंने पहले ही 3 साल में बी सब्जेक्ट का डिसिप्लिन का लिया है तो वो माइनर बन जाएगा. सो से फॉर इंस्टेंस इट कैन बी say a student who is pursuing BSc program in life science at the end of 4 years with major in botany and minor in say zoology, because zoology का उन्होंने 6 कोर पढ़ा और एक discipline specific पढ़ा. Then in that case, in the mark sheet, not in the degree, in the mark sheet it will be indicated that he has majored in botany and minor in zoology. This is how it will be interpreted. So the concept of major and minor, fine, particularly minor, major minor is different from a सिंगल कोर डिसिप्लिन प्रोग्राम. ऑनर्स प्रोग्राम से आपकी प्रोग्राम जो है ना मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी प्रोग्राम का जो डेफिनेशन है मेजर माइनर का वो डिफरेंट है. इन द ऑनर्स प्रोग्राम Gs will be used to create a minor, but in a multidisciplinary program it is not the Gs but the discipline along with the discipline specific electives which will give rise to a minor, provided 7 papers are studied off dedicatedly of that particular. हाँ 7G पेपर तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, डिसर्टेशन तो हाँ. बट 1 second मैडम, आई जस्ट क्लैरिफाई वन थिंग. इन अ मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी प्रोग्राम टू गेट मेजर इन दैट डिसिप्लिन अ स्टूडेंट मे हैव टू राइट, अगर 3 डिसिप्लिन का चल रहा है तो आपको डिसर्टेशन लिखना ही पड़ेगा उस मेजर डिसिप्लिन में. But if you are talking about BA program where you have only 2 core discipline, you may have an option. Fine? Because 2 में क्या चलता है? Let me just show you the next slide. This particular table is pertaining to BA program kind of combinations where you have 2 discipline as a core discipline, not 3. उसमें क्या होगा? You'll have say BA program in say history with English. Fine. So you will study, the student has a choice in the first year, fine, and a similar choice in 3rd semester. First semester में he has a choice whether to study 2 papers of history and 1 paper of English. अगर BA program का combination English history है, उनकी choice है 2 paper history का पढ़े और 1 paper English का पढ़े, या 2 papers of English and 1 paper of history. That is a choice given to a student. Okay? So you will study. So if a student starts choosing history as the major discipline, because ultimately when you have 2 discipline program, the discipline which is chosen as the major, the student will study 2 paper per semester up from first semester onwards to the 6th semester. Okay? So you may have the student will be studying say 2 papers of history in first semester and 1 paper of English in the first semester. Second semester he will opt the same thing, same combination. ये नहीं हो सकता कि first year में first semester में आपने 2 paper history कर लिया, second semester में 1 paper history कर लिया, ऐसे नहीं change कर सकते हैं. The combination will be fixed for the 1 year, first year. ठीक है? So 2 papers of history, 1 paper of English in the first and second semester. Now when he comes to the 3rd semester, there is a choice, because sometimes student may have a more liking for the other discipline which he has studied only 1 per semester. So he should be given a choice in the 3rd semester, not in the rest, forthcoming. So in the 3rd semester, he has a choice either to convert. Instead of studying 2 papers of history, he may start studying only 1 paper of history from 3rd semester onwards and study 2 papers of English. But whatever he chooses in the 3rd, if he changes that option, that will continue till the 6th semester. He cannot change it later on. Okay? Then it will create difficulty for the college while implementing it, or the functional issues will be there. So if you look at the scheme remains the same 1 GE will be there. Now in the case of BA program, let me also tell you, in the case of BA program, the GEs in the first 2 years, that means semester 1, 2, 3 and 4, it will be a pool of language courses. Fine? Because this has been retained in order to, take care of the fact that the existing BA program you compulsorily study an English paper and MIL till now. But then it will be open to a student from now onwards, from this session onwards, whoever is going to be admitted fresh, to either opt for an English paper and Indian language paper, or completely do away with English and start choosing 2 Indian papers also. That's the choice of the student. Fine. So the GEs in the case of BA program, the generic elective, first 4 semester is only full of Indian languages and English course that you will see. Okay? From 5th semester onwards, the whole pool of GE is open. It will not be only limiting to the language. It can be any discipline from 5th semester onwards. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. A student pursuing such program, BA program, for them the whole GE will be open from 5th semester onwards. But for the first 4 semester, it will be a pool of language courses. Yes, ma'am.
From table 3, I understand that the major dissertation in semester 7, and semester 8 is continuation.
Yes.
However, it is in the block, it is written independently.
Yes. I will explain that. I'll explain that.
Students are asking, we will do major dissertation in semester 7 and minor dissertation in semester 8.
Let me explain. Let me explain. I will show you. There is, if I refer to this particular document, I will draw your attention to the notes which is given at the end of table number 3. If you go to it. I think it's given in note. We will, I'll just share it with you, but I will explain to you right now. I'll explain to you, madam. No, let me explain, ma'am. Huh.
If it is continuation as I understand, then we should have written same as semester 7.
Yes. Yes. Yes, but I think, huh. Which one?
4 plus 2. The credits, yeah, this one. Dissertation on major 4 plus 2. 4 means what? 2 means what?
No. 4 plus 2, actually, it's 6 credits in total. Fine. So I think I might have picked up the older version of the table. I'll tell you why. It was previously, if you remember, when we had discussion with the stakeholders, with the heads and principals separately, there was a suggestion that 8 credits in total, please sit down, 8 credits in total for a dissertation is very less. Student will not be interested to invest so much of time and energy in writing dissertation. That's why a suggestion was made that why not make it 12? Okay, so that's why 2 more was added. So it's for my own understanding. I'm sorry that it's creating a confusion. Number 1. So it will be, dissertation will be a total of 12 credits, 7 and 8 combined. Now the reason why we have not said that it will be one, dissertation. It's written in the text, no doubt. But in the table, there may be a confusion because we have to make assessment at the end of 7th semester also and 8th semester also. It's not that you start writing dissertation in the 7th semester and you'll be assessed at the end of 8th semester. It's nothing like that. Why? Why? Again, there is a rationale. The rationale is that if you do not make an assessment at the end of 7th semester, a student will not start writing their dissertation. Fine. So that's why we said, let's outline the criteria on the basis we will do assessment at the end of 7th semester. So as per discussion that came up, which I can share with you today, which will be concretized as we talk about assessment later on. But the thing is that in the 7th semester, a student should be able to identify a research problem. He should have completed the survey of literature on that particular topic. At least minimum 2 things he should have done. And in case if it is an empirical research that he wishes to do, a research design should also be, at least a draft research design should be there. So that if he has to go to the field and collect data, that can be done in the 8th semester. So therefore, these criteria for assessment will be provided so that you are able to assess the student at the end of 7th semester for those 8 credits. For those 6 credits, sorry. Okay? Huh? No, it's 6 credit only. There is no bifurcation. It's a credit, it's 6 credits and total from the same dissertation. Now if you look at the draft guidelines given, it was said that there should be 2 dissertations written, one on major and one on the minor. But then these, deliberations happened in the with the stakeholders, with you all also, if you remember, that in one semester, if you are giving to write dissertation, you won't come with the quality work. And we want that quality work should be done. And our duty is to facilitate that. And that's why instead of writing 2, one whole year, you are writing dissertation on one, either major or minor, focus on that, but assess at the end of each semester. Okay? That is the motive behind. I hope, Professor Anupa, madam, it's clear now? Okay? So why we are clarifying, because there may be certain things which we thought it's understood. When you make it, there is a presumption. But it is you who will be taking it forward to the student who will ultimately make those choices. So that's why please kindly when you orient the student, kindly tell them that it is one dissertation, but assessment will be made separately at the end of 7th and 8th semester. Right? Okay.
Ma'am, it should be very clearly mentioned also. It's not that what we are talking to or communicating to the students, but it should be mentioned also that this is just one dissertation and it will be evaluated in
Yes.
the semester.
I think
It should be very
हाँ, अभी तो हम फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर करने के लिए सोच रहे हैं. आई थिंक वी कैन डू दैट. दैट्स अ गुड सजेशन. फॉर द सेक ऑफ क्लैरिटी वी कैन लिस्ट डाउन अलॉन्ग विथ हाउ टू असेस, है ना. असेसमेंट क्राइटेरिया के संग संग आ जाएगा. हाँ जी.
And
Can we just finish the structure and come to the question answer? Huh? So, thank you. Now, if you come to table number 7, you will find that the restriction or the constraints we had when we had 3 core disciplines, 3 different core disciplines, वैसा नहीं है. So, a student can easily create mind. Major के लिए थोड़ा सा वो करना पड़ेगा कि major के लिए भी अच्छे से बन जाएंगे अगर दो लेते चले. So, you will have, at the end of 6th semester, for one discipline in a BA program, the student, if he doesn't change his option, he would be studying 12 of one, course, of one discipline, and 6 of the other discipline. So we presume that a student will definitely go, to specialize in the 4th year on that major discipline. So that's why these category of courses are said to be multidisciplinary program with major in so and so, right? So if you are majoring, so that's why when we formulate the courses also, we said category 1 courses where we are talking about one single core discipline, you'll have 3 discipline specific core in the first year. Category 2 courses given by a particular department will be for opting that particular subject as a major. मान लीजिए English as an honors paper, in the first semester, the English department has to give 3 discipline specific core paper. Now, English as a BA program discipline, with English as major, you provide 2 discipline specific core papers in the first semester. And if you want to provide English as a non-major, why I am saying non-major? Because it is possible that a student may not opt DSE of that particular paper. सिर्फ English का core 6 पढ़ के छोड़ देता है, then it becomes a non-major. एक DSE ले लेते हैं English का, then English becomes a minor. So that's why, since it is left to a student, that's why we say that in case of non-major, you will provide only one discipline specific core paper for the category 3. जहाँ पे हम कह रहे हैं कि उस डिसिप्लिन में नॉन मेजर की तरह ऑप्ट कर रहे हैं, तो ठीक है, राइट? सो a student can easily make, because earn those many number of 80 credits, not even by writing dissertation. अगर 3 core discipline program चलते हैं, तो dissertation has to be written in that discipline to make it a major. But in the case of BA program, where you have just 2 core discipline, then in that case, dissertation may be written of the minor also, because you would have earned 80 credits otherwise from the core and the electives of that discipline. ठीक है? So any major का तो say for example major, you see the student will be studying 20 DSEs minimum and 2 DSEs, fine, and in the 8 semesters, so if he choose, 8 नहीं है, in fact 10 हो जाएगा, इसका 2 DSEs नहीं है, 4 हो जाएगा, so 88 credits compulsorily a student will earn, fine. In a single core discipline program, a student will study 20 discipline specific core and minimum 4 discipline specific electives in 4 years, sorry. तो total जो है 88 credits minimum बन जाएगा उनका. If he studies all DSEs, 10 की 10 DSEs ले लेते हैं उसी सब्जेक्ट का, ठीक है, GE का ऑप्शन नहीं लिया है 3rd और 4th सेमेस्टर में, तो और 4th ईयर में भी GEs नहीं लिया, DSEs ही लिया है, तो आपके कितने बन जाएंगे? 20 + 30, फाइन, 30 पेपर्स मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 4 क्रेडिट्स, 120 क्रेडिट्स उसी चीज़ में, उसी डिसिप्लिन में अर्न कर लेंगे. सो ऑब्वियस ही बात है, 88 ही चाहिए आपको मिनिमम मेजर बनाने के लिए, वो मेजर बन ही जाएगा, ठीक है. अगर जीस लेते हैं तो 7 जीस लेने से उस पेपर में माइनर बन जाएंगे, ठीक है. नाउ कमिंग टू मेजर इन द केस ऑफ मल्टीपल core discipline program I have already explained. उसमें कम से कम 80 credits लेना है out of 176 credits, and so a student may study 6 DSEs, then at least 3 DSEs electives in the first 3 years. उसके बाद 4th year में तो obviously you'll study 2 core and then 6 discipline specific electives and then write a dissertation. तो उन सब में मिला के the person will be having a major in that discipline, particularly when we are talking about 3 core discipline program. 2 core में तो अपने आप बन जाएगा आराम से, ठीक है? So now coming to how to maximize resources, I know that most of the colleges have this issue, because how can we provide, we have limited number of teachers, sir already said that, say for example, if you have chemistry ke teachers, they will be dedicated in teaching the core papers of those, you know, for those students. And when you are talking about GEs, that means you are teaching students of other departments other than chemistry. So how to, you know, ensure that students get the benefit, but at the same time we are trying, how we should maximize our resources. So there is a proposal that, one second, there is a proposal that colleges should be made into, you know, group into clusters, which we call as knowledge networks. And maybe some, you know, one college can, 1 or 2 colleges in a particular network, right, can initiate and coordinate, so that we are able to give more choices to our students. चाहे वो generic electives की paper हो, चाहे skill enhancement की paper हो, चाहे value addition की paper हो, या ability enhancement की papers हो. So if a college A is providing, say, first 3 skill enhancement courses in their college, maybe B is providing 5, 6, 7, fine, C is providing, say, 21, 22, 23. In case if I talk about listing down the skill enhancement courses which are being approved, which is 43 in number. तो अलग-अलग colleges अपने expertise जो teachers हैं, faculty members की expertise, workload, all these जो भी relevant factors है, उसको देख के अगर identify करते हैं and they are able to come up with different skill enhancement courses का pool, choices. And if you kind of coordinate amongst themselves, have a common timetable for those, because it's only 2 credits. That means 2 hours in a week. Maybe you can hold the class, say on a Saturday, 2 to 4 or 4 to 5 or 3 to 5, whatever. Fine. That will be enable the students to get more choices. Fine. Without increasing the number of faculty in your college. So I think coordinating and sharing the resources will maximize the options which are available to students. Further, it is not just about you know, making more courses in terms of GEs, SECs, AECs and VACs. There is also another perspective. We all know that from 3rd semester onwards, students have the option of internship, apprenticeship, project and so on, community outreach. Now we all know how many students we have in our colleges and how many opportunities for internship are there. It is not possible that every student who opt for internship will be able to provide that kind of, you know, facility. Though we are trying our best, but I think, you know, we may not be able to fulfill all the, you know, wishes or choices of the student in terms of internship. So why not have, when we are talking about internship, why not we engage, we have so many teachers in different colleges who are, you know, doing projects, or maybe who have expertise in a different area. Say for example, even in chemistry, a person who is who has done PhD, who is teaching in a particular college, may have a different expertise than the you know, teacher of chemistry teaching in another college. So why not, and if you have a project, why not engage such students during their internship program so that they are able to get the best out of the other teacher? Fine. So that is something which we can work out, and that is possible only when colleges coordinate and cooperate amongst themselves. And that's why we are proposing to create, you know, cluster colleges very soon. So I would, you know, request you from the, from the core of my heart, that to make, you know, implementation of the National Education Policy successful, the prime responsibility is on you. ठीक है, हमने स्ट्रक्चर बनाए हैं, बना के आपसे डिस्कस किया, आपने भी इनपुट दिए हैं, बट आगे कैसे ले जाना, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली एट द ग्राउंड यू आर द इम्प्लीमेंटर्स. Fine. So without your support, without your active cooperation and collaboration amongst yourself, this is not possible. So therefore, this is my humble request that please be forthcoming, be initiative, and be ready to facilitate so that the university as a system, university colleges as a system, we are able to implement the policy in true spirit. And we are able to provide the kind of choices that we are contemplating in UGCF 2022. Thank you so much. I'll just take one by one question, yes. See, BCom program will also have the BA program kind of structure. Okay, that means the language course, fine, in the GE pool will be fixed for first 2 years. Semester 1, 2, 3, 4 में आप BCom program में वही language पढ़ाएंगे जैसे BA program को पढ़ा रहे हैं. Fine. Other than that, जो core है, जो core courses है, what you will find is in BCom program, they have multidisciplinary, they have papers pertaining to say taxation, business law भी है, आपकी management की भी बात करते हैं, so it's kind of, it's a range that you see. So BCom program structure is kind of similar to the BA program, where in the first 2 years, the language pool is given for the GE, as a GE pool. ठीक है, from 5th semester onward, the rest of the courses in the GE pool will be open. ठीक है. Yeah, it's a separate structure, fine. So you can have different course, yes, in a program, yes. Yes.
In the second year also, are we planning to have the same thing, or would we be having certain other ability enhancement courses? Because the UGCF booklet says that these can be courses which develop your personality. So would we also be having courses other than the environmental science and the languages also in the AECs in the coming year? That is my first question. And the second question basically is because this I think comes in terms of the logistics. Because, when we talk about GEs, when we talk about SECs, and totally appreciate that more and more flexibility needs to be given to the students. But, just taking a hypothetical case that, one of the SECs is more favorable with the students, right? And the students flock towards one of those SECs. So, should, as an institute or as a college, I don't know whether the other colleges have that problem, should we have a restriction that, how many students we can entertain? Because, we have our own restraints in terms of maybe the infrastructure or the faculty members. So that's the second query I have. And the third one which I really want to, it's just a suggestion which I want to put up, because in your first slide you mentioned, that we have to have a flexible pedagogy and the assessment is to be decided. Somewhere or the other, our pedagogy does get affected by the assessment. So it's my humble request to make the assessment also as flexible as possible, so that flexibility in the pedagogy can be adopted. So these are certain requests.
Thank you, thank you. Should we take the questions first or? Okay. Regarding AEC pool that you have talked about, as of now we have two pool, one of environmental science and the other is the Indian languages, which may be added later on, but as of now in our structure we have just these two categories of courses. Okay? Second is regarding skill enhancement courses, capping of number of seats to be provided. I think that depends upon the infrastructure that is available within an institute, and also the teachers' availability. So that is I think a decision which is to be taken.
GEs, SECs, AECs, BSc, wherever the elective is there.
Yeah, minimum.
There would be a minimum cap. There would be a minimum cap before we opt for SECs or GEs because that counts on our resources. There would be a minimum cap, but since the flexibility is there, the choice of student is equally important for us. So there is no cap on the maximum number of students. If we have more number of students opting for same SECs, GEs or these subjects, we can have different sections depending upon the class size, whatever is ideal for that. But there is no cap. That you would decide.
Yeah, sir, that leads to also another issue because sometimes the students want a particular option only and we have more numbers over there. Sir, from my college, one of the students approached university also that particular option has not been provided to me and then we resolve the issue. Sir, it is really a problem that in certain subjects so many students opt and in another subject or course only 4 or 5. So sometimes it becomes difficult for the institution and we have to make certain distinctions. So what would be, sir, the opinion of university and if some complaint goes there, what would be there?
Shall I respond?
See, as of now, so there would not be any restriction. We can't put any of our restriction at our own level. But if you feel some cap is essential so that all our courses are read equally, how we can justify that? See, it is vice versa also. Putting a cap is one question, but how best we can teach, how best we can impart those skills, how best we can impart the other things, that depends upon us. If we are able to impart that, see, this is a mixed variant. So ultimately the delivery is going to matter much in these things, but as of now, a minimum cap would be there, but there is no maximum cap. How that distribution, then as already said in the beginning, it is an evolving process. We may over a period of 1 year, 2 years, because system would get the stability after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years when we move that system slowly. So that the time would take.
Sir, when it is in Indian languages, then minimum, if suppose it is going to be online, then why minimum cap should be there? It could be even one student, and if it can be really able to get provided through online programs, then in that case one could also...
What you are saying is right.
Yeah.
That this suggestion is already in our mind. Then we have to devise a mechanism. We are planning for a cluster of colleges also. We are planning for clusters. How best we can this, because in languages also we are facing severe problems. That number of students would be very less. But to offer those languages, university would also come forward. We would arrange the classes through online mode specifically for those groups of students for each college at a common point of time. That mechanism we would develop in due course of time. But as far as skill enhancement, value addition, all those courses are concerned, they are to be important. They are to be imparted in the college only. So that is the thing. But all suggestions in this regard also are welcome, because once we would launch this, how many students, because we have got complaints about that also, that many colleges are not offering the language course which a student want to opt. So here in this NEP 2020, this barrier should not be there. University should come forward. We are there with you to impart that kind of an education also. Maybe an online mode. How all the colleges would coordinate so that a common time is available for those students to get that education.
If I may just add, sir, we had a discussion just now relating to maximization of resources, which can be done by creating the cluster colleges. And we are at least contemplating 9 groups of colleges, in different areas: north, south, east, west, northwest, southwest, southeast, southwest, and central. So if we do that, it's not only just for ability enhancement courses, but even for skill enhancement courses where the credit is just 2, They can coordinate amongst themselves, have a common timetable where maybe the classes can be held on a Saturday, say 2 to 4 or 3 to 5, and give that kind of flexibility, because we already have 41, 43 courses in skill. In a clustered college group, a college may opt for first 3, another may opt some other. So that flexibility is there, and then the limitation of number of students, I think that will also increase. Number 2, what madam you just said, that there is preference for a particular course. If you give more choices, maybe the student will get equitably distributed amongst these courses.
How do we go for cluster colleges when we have in GE and SET practical component? Because theory we can do online, but for practical component, how do we do?
I think the modalities of coordinating and cooperating amongst the cluster colleges has to be worked out by those clusters. So we'll have a nodal or a hub college which will coordinate with the rest and work out the practical functional realities. As I have just mentioned, value addition course is again a pool of courses. As and when we have more number of courses, it will be added in the pool. So it is not just specific for first semester, it is a pool which will be offered to the student. It's not semester specific.
My second question, ma'am, is that as a commerce teacher, can I teach mathematics as SCC or value-added course, or only a mathematics teacher can teach it?
See, for teaching the courses under SEC and value added, I think there will be a training module for teachers, and those who are trained, then they'll be able to deliver and take those courses and deliver to the students.
Ma'am, I have one query that is regarding the GE courses for BA program. You said they will be language courses. It's fine. Okay. My query is about BA program courses. You said the first 4 GE courses for first 4 semesters will be language courses, and the document says that they will be 2 languages. But
Yes.
you said the students can opt for 1 language in all the 4 semesters.
No. I said 2 language. It can be English and an Indian language, or it can be 2 Indian languages.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, thank
so
you.
for 1 language, they'll study 2 papers. Two papers padhenge na, semester 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay.
Ma'am, for SEC papers in first semester and second semester, table says that there is a choice from a pool of SEC papers. Then in third semester and fourth semester, it says choose 1 SEC paper. So that means in first year, there is a common pool which will be offered to all students, and in second year, SEC paper related to that discipline only will be offered, because in a pool of SEC papers, there are papers from other disciplines also.
Skill enhancement courses is a pool of courses. Okay? In all the semesters. That is the definition I had shared with you. It's a common pool.
So we have to offer all the courses to all the students, or we can restrict to some of the courses out of that pool.
Otherwise, it's not possible.
Can you repeat your question?
Ma'am, please repeat.
If the college has the ability to offer all the courses, there is no issue.
Okay, because for AEC, it is being, all languages we have to offer, whether we have the resources or not, and there will be a common online class. So, but for SEC papers, we have to restrict as per our...
No, there will also be cluster colleges.
Okay.
We are taking out the modalities for the cluster colleges also.
Ma'am, I want to ask about AEC course. The courses which are offered in the first year are environment science and languages. So the same will be repeated in the second year, and for value added also. If one student, value added course taken in the first semester, will it continue till the fourth semester, or they will be choice for changing?
See, as on date, we have developed our courses for 2 credits.
Okay.
So maybe, like if you are talking about extension of one paper, you have studied physics 1, then you can study physics 2. Maybe a kind of expansion would be there. As on date, all these courses would be standalone courses of 2 credits each.
Right.
So then it depends upon the student whether a student would like to continue with the same kind of a skill or other skills, same kind of value or others, because we are offering all those courses as a plethora of pool before them, so they can choose.
So they can change in the second year.
There is no question of change.
Okay.
It is a question of option.
And please throw some more light on the last point, entrepreneurship and that which was after.
मैं और ऐड कर दूं? जो skill enhancement courses right now are standalone courses of 2 credit each, but there will be more discipline specific skill enhancement courses. They may be progressive in nature, say first level or the second level, then third level, then fourth level. Student may be able to choose from, but each paper we will try to be a standalone course, so that if the students wish to do various skills, then also it's okay, but if wish to proceed with the specific skills in a progressive manner, that is also a good option for the student. But right now, all the skill courses here are standalone courses. More courses to come in that pool.
One more information, just addition to this. All our courses, this time, whatever syllabus we would be available to you, we are also mentioning in each course what is the prerequisite for that course. So if there is a prerequisite for that course, a student cannot opt for course 2 before studying course 1. So that prerequisite is mentioned in all those courses. Otherwise it is open. Wherever there is no prerequisite, then any class 12th requirement is there. They can study any of these courses is there. So all courses are having a specific prerequisite also, because we have not kept skill courses or value addition courses at some lower level, maybe a higher level also, but prerequisite is also mentioned there.
Good afternoon everyone. जैसा कि मैम ने कहा, कांतावाली मैम ने कि clustering of colleges. And it's a wonderful and excellent idea, but being a science teacher, I want to give an input that for all mostly optional papers, we required some mandatory instrument. And because of financial constraints of department as well as institute, we cannot run that, we are not having that instrument. But these instruments are very much necessarily required to run these optional paper. So whenever we are having, if university is thinking of this mechanism clustering of college, my request is this कि जो आपने एक center locate की है, geographically जो पास है, practically जो student जा सकता है, time management कैसे करेगा, so please वो instrument की availability भी कराई जाए. जितने भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट क्लस्टर कर रहे हैं जो बहुत ही ज़रूरी है उन पेपर को रन करने के लिए, अदरवाइज इट इज़ इनजस्टिस टू ऑफर दैट पेपर. थैंक यू सो मच.
I would like to add one thing here, which I did not mention in my, session. That is, every student has the flexibility of earning 4 more credits or 4 less credit in a semester. Fine. The prerequisite, in case if he or she wishes to exit and earn a certificate, ya diploma, ya degree, the requisite credit remains. It is, he has to earn that much credit, only then he or she shall be given that, respective certificate, diploma, etc. However, a student is given the option of earning more credits. So that much flexibility is there. अगर elective में, जैसे sir ने अभी बताया, अगर elective paper नहीं उनसे हो पा रहा वो चीज़, then he can study some other, but class attend करने के बाद ही exam दे पाएंगे. ऐसे नहीं कि आप ऐसे ही exam में बैठ जाएं, ऐसे नहीं होगा.
Good afternoon, everyone. All of us have the same question. It relates to BCom Pass. To our understanding, what you said, when you replied to her question, you said that BCom Pass will run like BA program. But when we look at the syllabus, which is given on the website of Commerce Department, BCom is running as a separate course. BCom Honors running like any other honors course, but BCom is running as a separate course, and BA program with commerce option is running like multidisciplinary.
See, what your question is, that is very clear. In BA program, we always offer two subjects, DSC 1, DSC 1A, DSC 2A, or DSC 1B. Fine? That is clearly for BA program. So in BA program, you are having two subjects. Now choice is yours, which subject is to be offered, because that depends upon the choice of the student, which is major and which is minor. Wherever the student opts that this is major subject, then the students would take two subjects, DSC 1 and DSC 2 of that very paper. Otherwise, the minor paper could be the other one. Now coming to the second part, see, we discussed the structure of BCom program with the specific department. Here we are teaching two subjects in BA, if you really look into that. But what we got the information from BCom and from our other members also, BCom itself has several subjects included in one course. This is not a unitary subject. So therefore, in line with their requirement, specific requirement, we are offering them a structure that DSC 1, DSC 2, DSC 3, whatever three, they can offer those courses. So there, we are already notifying that kind of a structure also, which would be available on our website. What are the courses that can be offered in BCom program? So it is almost, see, we don't want to make several structures which can put us in trouble. Now it is very easy for anyone to remember. Every student has to get 22 credits once 1 year. 22 credits in second semester, like this. So there is a uniformity. There is a uniformity as far as the core courses are concerned. So there is no distinction. There is a uniformity in ability enhancement course, skill enhancement course, value addition courses also. So there is no ambiguity. So it is very easy for any one of us to further give the information to the student, because this is the structure. Only difference is in the broad structure of DSC or GE, depending upon the course the student is going to opt. But we have accepted this argument of the Commerce Department just because they are having already multidisciplinary approaches there. So we are offering multidisciplinary in BA program also. We have extended multidisciplinary in BCom program also. Whatever you choose. See, table 6 is also BCom program, or you say DSC A1 or 7 is also like that.
I'll just add to that. One second, I'll just come to that. BCom program, if you look at it, just forget about the core given in table number 7. Rest remains the same for BCom program. Fine? As sir has just explained, that in the case of core for BCom program, you can have different discipline, because they are studying accounting also, management part also, they are studying law also, whatever is relevant. Fine. So therefore, core, it can be multidisciplinary, no doubt about that. Fine. But if you talk about the pool of generic elective, fine, it's only for BA program. If you see in table number 7 that GE is fixed for the first 4 semester, only limited to a pool of language courses. The same remains for BCom program. To that extent, we can say that it's similar. And you have the ability enhancements, skill enhancement, value addition, similarly placed as BA program. Only to that extent, okay?
See, we will keep on adding several courses. We have not stopped. See, this is just a list because we want to start semester 1. So for semester 1, whatever courses our committee could study, our committee could ponder upon, finally they could reach out that syllabus. Only those syllabuses have been released so far, which have been approved by our academic council. It is not this thing that we have stopped here. our committees of value addition, skill enhancement and ability enhancement, they are still working on various courses. We will keep on adding those courses. So maybe there is a possibility that as on date we have 43 courses in skill enhancement. By the time the semester is launched in 1st November, we may add another 7 or 10 more courses. Same thing goes for the value addition also. So this is not static, it will keep on increasing, so the pool would be available to offer those courses. It is, see, the committee is ready to take all the courses. We will take up all the courses. Only thing is that whatever you have been teaching, we have to bring down all those courses in a uniform credit structure, 2 credit structure. So what kind of a credit would be available? So that is to be defined, and we have given them the more flexibility for all these things. It could be 1-1 lecture tutorials or 200 or 002. So whatever flexibility is there, that would be there. But we will keep on adding. If there are any suggestions, any courses are there, please pass on all those courses to Professor Payal Mago for skill enhancement courses. She will keep on adding all those courses. And for value addition, you can give all these courses to Professor Niranjan ji.
Sir, within this regard, I had an issue that I wish to share with you. Sir, may I? Sir, we were just talking about SEC subjects, SEC papers, and we do not have a single paper that we can offer. I'm talking about Sanskrit subject. In SEC list of 43 papers, we do not have a single subject of Sanskrit.
So SEC is not, basically we have to understand first of all, skill enhancement right now is not only discipline specific. Initially what we were doing is we were teaching SEC under the disciplines. Now it is not discipline specific. These are the life skills also, skills which will give you jobs, which are market oriented, which has some market value. Right now it's just the 43 courses which are basic courses which have their market value. And later on, as right now explained by our registrar also, that we will be adding the discipline specific courses also with some prerequisites or without prerequisites. And they can be progressive in nature if there is a prerequisite, and it can be standalone course also. So slowly and slowly we'll be adding more courses in the pool of the courses. So it is right now not any discipline specific.
So ma'am, is there any chance that by November 1st, since we start the first year classes, there would be some addition to the SEC list?
Again, you are asking the same thing. Please come out of the discipline first of all. SEC is not discipline related always. These are the life skills which are required by the students. There are, I remember that there are courses on communication, there are courses on
I agree, ma'am, that
computer skills, spreadsheets, and there are certain courses which are very useful for the students to develop their skills in research field which they are going to have in the research data, etc., which they are going to study, which they are going to implement in the 4th semester. Sorry, 4th year. So,
no, ma'am, I agree that these are not discipline specific. There are papers on Ayurveda and yoga as well, but these are not from these are not based on Sanskrit literature. So can these papers be opened for Sanskrit so that we can also offer to the... Sir.
I have already written a mail to all the head of the departments. I have already written a mail to all the head of the departments, so submit their department specific courses.
We'll have just last 2 questions, 1 question from 1 individual only. Madam, I'll just take her question and then you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I just wanted once again, I wanted this clarification on generic elective of BA program that you said. Choose one from a pool of GE languages. So I have understood it is to be either English or an Indian language. Is that correct?
See, generally, if you look at the existing BA program, it's English/MIL.
Yes.
Fine. If you take forward this particular spirit, so that existing mechanism or structure is being put in that GE in
So
first
this-
4 semesters.
So the student will take either of the two, right? Not both, no? In GE, in
So
English.
there are 4 semesters.
Semester.
So if a student say opts for English, he'll opt to study 2 courses of English in 2 semesters. Okay?
Yes, yes.
And in the other 2 semester, an Indian language will be studied. It is also possible that a student may choose to study both Indian languages.
Okay.
So for language 1 Indian course, 2 courses will be studied. For the second Indian language, another 2 will be studied in the other semester. So first, second, third, fourth semester, it is only going to be languages
All
GE.
right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yes, madam.
No, it is not for that.
But they have made the course. I've seen the course, it is there. So I was surprised. We cannot give Hindi to the Hindi honor students as AECC course. That should be such.
इंग्लिश को इंग्लिश नहीं देना है, हिंदी को हिंदी नहीं देंगे, वो तो
उर्दू को उर्दू नहीं देना, सिंधी सिंधी नहीं.
No, that is a different.
As we had mentioned, madam, we had shared with you few minutes back, I think, when we talk about skill enhancement courses. A student who is studying BAc, computer science, will not be given computer
basic IT
application as a
skills.
skill enhancement
Basic
course, very
IT
basic one. So similarly, if your student is already studying Hindi honors,
Yeah.
so ability enhancement में हिंदी की जगह कुछ और पढ़ लेंगे.
Similarly,
So I think we can have.
Similarly, there also, in BA also, if a student, there would be 2 combinations. If a student opts for major as English and minor as something, then under ability enhancement, they should take some other languages, some other language. So that is the spirit. That is the spirit. But as far as skill is concerned, their skill in different set is different. They can take those things because there we have developed different kinds of courses. So that is thing. So last ma'am.
Sir, what I understood is that table 6 is for BCom program. It seems like this, and table 7 is for BA program. In table 6 in generic elective, it is written choose one from the pool of courses GE1. And there is a difference, and in here in BCom program, this is choose one from the pool of GE languages. So it means that in BCom program, the GE is not, say, it is not compulsorily the languages, this GE.
For BA program and
BCom program, yes.
It is compulsorily language GEs.
But it is not written here in table 6. If
Table 6 is not meant
okay,
for BA program.
okay.
and-
So it is compulsory for BCom and BA program.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Table 6 is meant for you have 3 multidisciplinary courses like BA, BAc Life Science, BAc Physical Sciences, Mathematical Sciences and so on, where you study 3 different disciplines. BA program में तो 2 ही पढ़ते हैं ना, वो table 7 है, right? Thank you so much. Yeah, I request everyone to join for lunch and thank you for patient hearing, and I hope any kind of confusion, doubt, whatever remains even after this session, yeah, you can get in touch with me, you can write to me or meet me, whatever. You are welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, please join back at 2:15 after lunch. 2:15 dot. Thank you so much.
We put on our website also, so that if need be, you can see these videos later on also. The prime idea for calling this session was to make you aware about the processes the university is going to follow for granting admissions to the students, because this is a new system. For the first time, the Common University Entrance Test has been conducted by NTA, The students have appeared in those examinations. There is a lot of confusion, lot of news are there, which you have been reading in the newspaper about the percentile and the normalized score. What is the policy of the university? Whatever press release we have been releasing to the media, we are updating those press releases on our website also. So we thought that we should make you aware all these things. And we would also request you that you should also have an open session for the students in your college also. Because there are a lot of queries with the students. They are very anxious to know what is the procedure they are going to, university is going to adopt for admissions, what are the role of the teachers in the colleges are there. Now, in this, one thing is very clear, that there would not be any cutoff to be declared individually by the colleges. So as far as that burden is concerned, this has been reduced a lot. So no cutoffs to be declared. If any student approaches you, because I know it is natural that many students approach when they come to know that we are working in Delhi University, their parents approach कि भाई कैसे एडमिशन होना है, क्या चीज़ें हैं, हमें क्या करना है, क्या देखना है. आप हर किसी को ये चीज़ ज़रूर बोलिए कि जितने मैक्सिमम कोर्सेज हमारी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफर करती है, दे शुड ऑप्ट फॉर ऑल दोज कोर्सेज. मैक्सिमम कोर्सेज वो ऑप्ट करके चले. और मैक्सिमम का हमारी जो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लिस्ट हैं वो 79 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मेरिट कैटेगरीज हैं डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द वेरियस कॉम्बिनेशंस. इसके अलावा वी हैव ए बीए प्रोग्राम कॉम्बिनेशन ऑल्सो विच हैज 206 combinations in BA program alone. Now see the massive system of Delhi University, how complex it would be while granting admission through a common seat allocation system. So we have devised a mechanism, we are developing a portal. The first part of the portal is over, wherein the student has already registered. The student has opted for various universities at the National Testing Agency portal. We have advised them to appear in the examination in the subjects in which they studied in class 12th level also. And we have asked them that they should appear in the examination for those very subjects in the CUET also. So there are several intricacies, several problems in it. So that was the prime concern, that we would share everything with you. What is our mechanism? What is the idea behind it? So that you all are aware of all these facts and make the general public aware of the policy of the University of Delhi. So with this brief, I request Professor Haneed Gandhi, Dean Admissions, to make that presentation, and then we can have a question answer session also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Payal Maggu, Professor Balram Pani, Vikas Gupta, sir, and Professor Ratnabali, Dean Academic Affairs. We just in the morning session had a orientation to the undergraduate curriculum framework. In this afternoon session, I'll give a brief of entire episode of admissions that we have done till now. Beginning from, I think we had launched our portal, the admission portal, on 5th of April. 6th of April, CUET was launched. We had done one day prior to that, so that students should not have any difficulty in appearing in CUET. The eligibilities were launched on 5th of April. I'll just take a run through on all this, the eligibility criteria and the common seat allocation system also. As sir said, to give you a little idea on how enormous our system is, we have 79 programs, 79 undergraduate different programs. BA program is one of them. Then BA program then diversifies into 206 BA combinations, which you all are aware of. All this information is also there on the admission website. At the and finally, I'll share the website also with you. And there are around 70,000 seats on which the admissions are done. These programs are run across our Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Commerce, Music, Vocational, BLEd, and many more. So before I begin with the common seat allocation system or the CSAS allocation system, I'll just give you a little preamble to what we have done till now and how the admissions had to be followed. We commenced our undergraduate admission website on 5th of April, and the CUET, as you know, was a mandate for all the candidates to take admission into Delhi University. They had to appear in the Common University Entrance Examination. Just a little glimpse of CUET. This, in fact, is a landmark step, because from CUET we have not taking the board-based merit papers, but we are considering the marks that the students would have got in the national-wide entrance examination. As you must be familiar, CUET was done by National Testing Agency, and 91 universities participated in CUET. This was done in 13 medium, and it was a computer-based test. CUET was, it had 3 sections. जो पहला सेक्शन था उनका वो भाषाओं पे आधारित था. सेक्शन 2 was domain specific, and section 3 was general test, which had general abilities and some bit of mathematical computations also in it. The candidate was had the option to choose languages and domain subjects out of, they could take 9 combinations out of these. They could take 3 languages, 5 domain subjects or general test, or 2 languages, 6 domain subjects and general test. Every program, now coming to our university, every program, as you are familiar, last year also we used to have, till last year every program had a specific eligibility. We are retaining that this year also. Every program has a specific eligibility, and the past practice where we were taking best 3 and best 4, we have retained. So the students, we will consider their best performance in CUET in their best 3 or best 4 subjects, depending on the eligibility criteria of each program. The eligibility will be based only on the CUET scores. The eligibilities, as I'll share with you, are widely inclusive, because they are not dependent on one particular subject, many of them. Appearing for all ECA supernumerary seats like ECA Sports, KM, PWBD, CWPM, SSS also. So all categories, these also had to appear in CUET. This was a mandate. There is no disadvantage on changing the stream. If you would remember, last year we used to deduct certain percentage. Well, children used to make a change of stream from sciences to commerce or arts. This year we are not doing any disadvantage to any of the candidate while they change their stream. And gap year is not a bar, so if students have missed a year, they can still, and they've appeared in CUET, they are still welcome to take admission in University of Delhi. The minimum eligibility is only passing class 12th from one single board. The subjects which were there in CUET, if you look at the bulletin of information, they were divided into 2 tables, list A and list B1, B2. List A comprised of all 33 languages. These mean including the 13 medium languages and other 20 languages. They were all put into one list, which is list A. Then the domain specific subjects were divided into 2 lists. Like earlier also we used to have B1 and B2. This year also we have certain subjects in B1 and certain subjects in B2. So all 27 subjects are divided in B1 and B2. Now I'll give you a glimpse of some of the eligibilities. These are not exhaustive, but I'll just give you a glimpse of some of the courses where the eligibilities were as follows. The bachelor's degrees in science, mathematics and technology, like last year, are also, this year also we are retaining best of 3 in PCM or PCB. The candidate was only supposed to get 30% marks in a language in which he or he would have appeared. So this is a glimpse for biological sciences, botany and zoology, PCB. For chemistry, physics and polymer science, PCM. Computer science, mathematics, statistics, any one language from list A, and any 2 subjects from list B1 or, any one language from list A, mathematics, and any 2 subjects out of which at least one is from B1. For environmental sciences, now here onwards you would see that there are 2 combinations. Now this is to give lot of emphasis and give lot of inclusivity to all the candidates. If you see, it is a wide spectrum of eligibilities. In environmental sciences, the candidate would have chosen, we would give a credit to PCM and PCB as well. तो यहाँ पर हम क्या करेंगे, अगर बच्चे ने चारों में अपीयर हुए, PCM और B, मतलब फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स और बायो, चारों में अगर अपीयर हुए हैं, तो हम उनके 2 कॉम्बिनेशन देख लेंगे, या PCM या PCB, जिसमें बेटर परफॉर्म किया उसको हम कंसिडर करेंगे, विच मीन्स दैट कैंडिडेट इज गेटिंग बेनिफिट ऑफ वट एवर शी और ही हैज़ अपीयर्ड इन. इसी तरह से जो हमारे बैचलर ऑफ आर्ट्स के प्रोग्राम में ये हमारे बेस्ट ऑफ 4 पे हैं, 1 लैंग्वेज और 3 सब्जेक्ट्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अप्लाइड साइकोलॉजी, साइकोलॉजी, हिस्ट्री, सोशियोलॉजी, सोशल वर्क, ज्योग्राफी, फिलॉसफी और पॉलिटिकल साइंस, यहाँ पर कोई एक भाषा लिस्ट ए में से, एनी टू सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम लिस्ट B1 एंड एनी वन सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम B1 और B2. तो 4 सब्जेक्ट रहे भाषा और कोई भी 3 डोमेन स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट, जिनमें से कोई 2 एटलीस्ट B1 से होने चाहिए और तीसरा या B1 से हो या B2 से हो. जो भाषाएं हैं, बहुत सारी भाषाएं, स्पेनिश, इटालियन, फ्रेंच, उर्दू, पंजाबी, बंगाली. Here, you know, we've given some bit of preference to the people who would have taken that language. Otherwise also they can still opt. If they've not studied the language, even then they can opt for the language-based honors programs. For example, I'll give you a typical example of the most widely spread, which is BA Honors Sanskrit. अगर CUET का आप स्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे तो संस्कृत 2 सेक्शंस में था, 2 खंडों में था, भाषा में भी था और डोमेन स्पेसिफिक में भी था. तो उस हिसाब से हमारी 4 कॉम्बिनेशंस बन जाती हैं. कोई भी एक भाषा और संस्कृत डोमेन से ली और अन्य 2 सब्जेक्ट्स, या फिर कोई भी एक भाषा संस्कृत भाषाओं में से ली और 2 अन्य डोमेन स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट. तीसरा, संस्कृत लिस्ट ए से ली और कोई भी 3 सब्जेक्ट जो B1 से हो, जिनमें से एटलीस्ट 2 आर फ्रॉम B1, और कोई भी भाषा ली और जिनमें से 2 सब्जेक्ट B1 से और 1 सब्जेक्ट या B1 या B2 से हो. सो इफ़ यू सी, दिस इज सो इंक्लूसिव. इफ द स्टूडेंट हैज़ टेकन संस्कृत इन एनीवेयर and other 3 subjects, we will pull out the best score for the student, so that the student is really not at a disadvantage. इसी तरह से पंजाबी ऑनर्स, if I give you an example, in Punjabi Honors combination 1 is Punjabi from list A, then 3 subjects, and if you've not studied Punjabi, still you want to do Punjabi Honors, then you take combination B, which was any language and then 3 domain specific subjects. This goes for Punjabi, Spanish, Bengali and other language-based courses. BA Honors Economics, if you remember, mathematics was compulsory. We have retained that. Any one language, mathematics and any 2 subjects, out of which 1 should be from B1. BCom Honors is also one of the most sought after courses. Here also if you see, mathematics or accountancy, any one. हम इन दोनों में से बेटर देख लेंगे, अकाउंट्स में बच्चे के मार्क्स बढ़िया आए हैं या मैथ्स में बढ़िया आए हैं, तो किसी 2 में से, इन दोनों में से किसी एक के हम ले लेंगे और बाकी कंडीशंस वही हैं, एक लैंग्वेज और बाकी 2 अन्य सब्जेक्ट. सॉरी सर, नॉट कंपल्सरी. इफ yes sir, mathematics is not compulsory. Now mathematics or accountancy, any one of them.
So even if a student has not studied mathematics at 12th level,
and he and she has, provided he or she has appeared in CUET in accountancy. अगर मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ी अकाउंटेंसी, तो मैथ्स और अकाउंटेंसी अगर बच्चों ने दोनों दिया है, हम दोनों में से उसका बेटर स्कोर देखेंगे, बेस्ट उसका जो होगा उसको लेंगे. जो हमारे DU JAT के अंदर आते थे प्रोग्राम्स, उनकी भी एलिजिबिलिटी ऑलमोस्ट वैसी ही है. एनी वन लैंग्वेज फ्रॉम लिस्ट ए, मैथमेटिक्स, लेकिन यहाँ पर हमने जो सेक्शन 3 था उसे इंक्लूड किया, जनरल टेस्ट, बिकॉज दिस पेपर जनरल टेस्ट वॉज वेरी सिमिलर टू आर DU JAT पेपर. सो हियर द एलिजिबिलिटी फॉर BA Honors Business Economics, Managed BMS and BBA is any one language, mathematics and section 3 of CUET. Our programs like BA program, BWalk and BCom Pass, this is very interesting because BA program is, large. Here if you see, combination 1 is almost similar to the other honors courses. लेकिन अगर वो नहीं लिया और जनरल टेस्ट लिया है, तब भी बच्चों का यहाँ पर फ़ायदा हो सकता है. They can take any one language. अगर इसका combination 2 आप देखेंगे, कोई भी एक भाषा, कोई भी एक सब्जेक्ट जो B1 या B2 से हो और जनरल टेस्ट. सो कॉम्बिनेशन 1, अगर बच्चों ने जनरल टेस्ट दिया होगा तो हम उनका जनरल टेस्ट, एक डोमेन स्पेसिफिक और लैंग्वेज, और अगर उन्होंने 3 सब्जेक्ट और लैंग्वेज दिए तो ये 2 कॉम्बिनेशन एक बच्चे के बन सकते हैं. विच मीन्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सपोज यू हैव टेकन इंग्लिश, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स and general test. So you get 2 combinations. One is English, physics, chemistry, maths. The other is English, any one of these, physics, chemistry, maths में से, and general test. जिसमें बच्चे का ज़्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस होगा उसे हम लेंगे हमारी मेरिट बनाने के लिए. जनरल टेस्ट जो था वो 300 मार्क्स का था. अगर आप स्कोर कार्ड देखेंगे, अब तो स्कोर कार्ड भी आ गए. जनरल टेस्ट 300 मार्क्स का था. तो यहाँ हम प्रोरेशन कर रहे हैं. आई विल कम टू द इलस्ट्रेशन लेटर. देयर वाज अ प्रेस रिलीज इन वी हैड टेकन आउट द इलस्ट्रेशंस ऑल्सो. आई विल शेयर दैट एग्जाम्पल स्पेसिफिकली a little later once I finish all the eligibilities. But only point to remember here is that we will do a proration if the combination needs so. Programs like Hindi, Patrikarita, journalism are based on again two combinations, Hindi or any three subjects, or Hindi from list A1 and section 3 from CUET. Then there are programs which are performance based, for example BA Honors Music or BA Bachelor of Physical Education, Health Education and Sports. These two programs were always based on a performance based criteria. This has been retained. Here there will be two criteria, CUET marks as well as the performance based marks. तो यहाँ पर दो कॉम्बिनेशन बन सकते हैं, एनी लैंग्वेज या और आपने परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड सब्जेक्ट लिया होगा जो B2 से था CUET का, या कोई भी दो सब्जेक्ट, या फिर कोई एक भाषा और अन्य 3 विषय डोमेन स्पेसिफिक के. यहाँ पर CUET के जो स्कोर आएंगे इन दोनों कॉम्बिनेशन में से जो बेस्ट स्कोर आएगा उसकी 50% वेटेज होगी, और परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ड जो टेस्ट होगा उसकी 50% वेटेज होगी. तो इन दोनों को मिलाकर उनका बेस्ट मेरिट बनेगा. Now I know this could sound complicated right now, but this was all in the public domain on 5th of April in the Bulletin of Information. And we had also from the admission branch, we had taken out huge list of illustrations also, these infographics that I'm showing it to you. These was also put up on the website. I'll show you the website where we have done a lot of work and we have done a lot of illustrations. There are 3 booklets of illustrations of every program. This was done because, here if you see, we had written in an infographic manner, BA Honors English, what would be the eligibility, बच्चा CUET के समर पे रजिस्टर करेंगे, अगर आपने जो भी सेक्शन लिए होंगे उससे आपका कौन सा मान्यता रखेगा और कौन सा नहीं रखेगा. The red ones will not be considered for this program. The greens ones are the possible combinations which we can get from these subject combination of the child. Which means, and among these if you can see T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7, there are 7 green combinations that you're getting. Out of these 7 combinations, we will pick the best combination. And the red ones are not eligible ones. So all these illustrations are there on the website for every course. Of course, these are illustrations and these are not exhaustive, these are just examples. So all this was done and this was there already on the website, our admission website. And I'll, in the end, I'll show you the website also and these illustrations. Now, the important part after CUET, now when we have the normalized scores with us and the scorecard with us, now we have launched our common seat allocation system, which we have acronymed as CSAS, for UG admissions 2022. This phase has now begun from 12th of September. हमने 12th of September को CSAS के अंदर बच्चों का रजिस्ट्रेशन खोल दिया था और 26 को यानी मंडे से हम इसका सेकेंड फेज लॉन्च कर रहे हैं. द बुकलेट ऑफ दिस इज ऑल्सो देयर ऑन द वेबसाइट. So as I said, phase 1 was launched on 12th September. Phase 2 we are launching it on 26th of September. Phase 3 means admissions and allocations. So the application form which is there, by the way, phase 1 we are not closing. Phase 1 and phase 2 will go on for a long time till 10th of October. We have announced that as well in a press release. Phase 1, one that has been launched and it is still undergoing, is simple application to the Delhi University CSAS portal. जिन बच्चों ने CUET यानी NTA के अंदर दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का इंटेंट दिया होगा वो अपना उस CUET के नंबर से हमारे पोर्टल पे रजिस्टर करेंगे. तो ये CUET का जो नंबर है इसी के बेसिस पे उनके ईमेल आईडी पे जो उनका रजिस्टर्ड ईमेल आईडी था NTA में वहाँ उनके पास OTP जाएगा. दे विल हैव टू फर्स्ट क्लिक न्यू रजिस्ट्रेशन, then they'll create their password and then they will fill this preliminary form. This form will now also have a second component from 26th of September. This form will now have the second phase component also integrated in it. Till now, till today, I mean as I speak today, till now it has these sections. एक पर्सनल सेक्शन है, एकेडमिक सेक्शन है, ECA स्पोर्ट्स का सेक्शन है, डॉक्यूमेंट अपलोड, देन यू प्रीव्यू योर फॉर्म एंड मूव ऑन टू अ पेमेंट गेटवे. In the personal section, there are 3 components जो बच्चे change नहीं कर सकते हैं. वो है नाम, उनकी फोटोग्राफ और उनका सिग्नेचर. ये ऑटो इंटीग्रेटेड है CUET से, यानी जो नाम उन्होंने CUET में भरा था आपके पोर्टल पे भी वही नाम दिखेगा. और अभी रिसेंटली NTA ने करेक्शन विंडो भी खोली हुई है, जिसमें अगर बच्चों से नाम में गलती हुई है या वो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं चुना था, वो अभी चुन सकते हैं. उन्होंने कुछ करेक्शन विंडो अभी खोली हुई है. तो नाम these are like non-editable fields: name, photograph and signature of the candidate. You will also get it exactly the same thing on your platform. Then they move on to the academic section. Here of course they fill in other details also, their bank details, their address, their corresponding email IDs, and about their categories, the social categories also. They fill all that details here. Ma'am, I'll just tell you. I'll take all the questions and dates at the end. So this personal section, the students can enter their details, their personal details, including their bank details. You know, these bank details are later used for refunds, and you know, we are advising students not to make any mistake while filling the form. The academic section, then they move on to the second section, which is the academic section. Here they fill their class 12th marks, and this we are getting the question, so I might as well answer this from this platform. If here theory and practical marks they have to give, internal marks, sessional marks, they may add it into their practical component. If you don't have a practical, put 0, 0 and move ahead. So here they enter their class 12 marks. All boards have declared their class 12 marks, so we are hoping that there won't be any result awaited cases. Then they go on to the third section, where they fill their, if they are desirous of taking admission in the ECA and sports supernumerary quota, they go to this section, they fill in their choices for ECA and sports, and finally they go on to the uploading section, where they upload all their documents. Of course, there is a preview section, and then later on they go to the payment gateway. Payment to CSAS is 250 rupees, which is like last year for UR, OBC and EWS candidates, and for SC, ST and PWD candidate it is 100 rupees. And 100 rupees extra if you're applying for EC and sports category. This is a non-refundable admission fee. Of course, we have put on many advices in our CSAS document, and if you look at the CSAS document, there are a lot of advices. I'll just repeat that students must take utmost care in filling their personal details, social category, caste and gender. These, once submitted, cannot be changed. After they submit to the CSAS portal, they will not be able to change these. They must take utmost care in filling the class 12th marks, because these will be used later on to break the tie. They must ensure that their relevant documents are valid and in prescribed format. Here also, let me, we did one more exercise from the admission branch. Much earlier in the month of August, even before the CUET has ended, we had issued a press release कि बच्चों को इन documents की अपनी तैयारी कर लेनी चाहिए. और 31 अगस्त तक हमने उनसे कहा था कि आप ये सारे दस्तावेज, ये सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स तैयार कर लीजिए, जिसमें आपका क्लास 12th का, 10th का सर्टिफिकेट, आपकी कैटेगरी सर्टिफिकेट, PWBD सर्टिफिकेट, CW का सर्टिफिकेट, उसका भी प्रिस्क्राइब फॉर्मेट हमने दे दिया था, मच इन एडवांस हमने दे दिया था. और बच्चों को बहुत सारी बल्क ईमेल्स भी भेजने की हम तैयारी में हैं. We are all familiar that we do not entertain any incomplete or non-available or undated certificates, and we advise everyone to fill their form well in advance and not wait for the deadline, and do not fill either ways, do not be in a haste and don't wait for the deadlines, because then it becomes very difficult to manage things. They tend to do mistakes. After this, once now on 26th of September, Monday onwards, we will open our platform for phase 2 also. In this phase, this is a very important and a critical phase, and here we need your help, because this is where the candidates will start approaching all of us. In fact, they are, and you may also be getting queries. As Sir said, and as you are familiar, there are 79 programs and lot of BA combinations. Now, अब जो बच्चों के पोर्टल पर आएगा, वो अब जब वो देखेंगे तो उनके पोर्टल पर उनके पास प्रोग्राम्स उनकी एलिजिबिलिटी के हिसाब से, और हम जो नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर के आधार पर उनका बेस्ट 4 निकालेंगे, उनके बच्चों के पोर्टल पे आएगा. तो जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स वो एलिजिबल है, मतलब बच्चों को खुद कुछ नहीं डालना है, हमारे पास ये CUET से इंटीग्रेटेड डेटा आएगा, हम उनका बेस्ट फॉर उनके सब्जेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन के हिसाब से उनको डला हुआ मिलेगा. They will have to choose the programs in which they wish to take admission. Once they do that, then there will be a list of colleges in which these programs are being offered. These are being done in a very systematic way, girls' colleges keeping gender and all that in mind. Once they get it, then they will click their programs and the colleges in which they wish to take admission. जैसे जैसे वो क्लिक करेंगे एक और विंडो खुलती जाएगी जिसमें उनके प्रेफरेंसेस आते जाएंगे. जिस हिसाब से वो क्लिक करते जाएंगे पहले तो वही ऑर्डर होगा, लेकिन उसके बाद वो उसको रीशफल रीऑर्डर कर सकते हैं. तो वो मिक्स बैग में भी कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि अगर इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स किसी X कॉलेज में पढ़नी है, फिर BCom ऑनर्स किसी Y कॉलेज में पढ़नी है, फिर इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स किसी Z कॉलेज में पढ़नी है, दे कैन अरेंज इट. नाउ दिस इज़ अ वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल एंड अ क्रिटिकल स्टेप बिकॉज इट्स गोइंग टू बी ह्यूज. You know, looking at the numbers, it's huge, but our systems are in place to take 5,000 combinations. We request and we advise you to advise all children to fill all programs and all colleges. We have no history of data. We cannot tell where the candidates will land up. And we don't know the relative marks of the other students. You don't know the marks of the other students, so fill all combinations, all colleges. Don't leave out. Once you leave out, we will not be able to upgrade you. अगर वो सीट ख़त्म होगी और आप उस कॉलेज में नहीं आ पाए और ये सेक्शन दोबारा नहीं खुलेगा, प्रोग्राम और प्रेफरेंसेस का सेक्शन दोबारा नहीं खुलेगा, तो अब आप भी जो अपनी हेल्पलाइंस या हेल्प डेस्क ऑन करेंगे और आपके पास अगर बच्चे आएँ तो उनसे सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस प्रोग्राम्स के और कॉलेजेस से भरने का अपील करिए और निवेदन करिए. उसके बाद जब वो ये करेंगे फिर ऑफ कोर्स दे विल कम टू द कंफर्मेशन ऑफ देयर. दिस इज लाइक अ रूटीन दे यू कंफर्म दैट यू नो वट एवर यू डन यू अग्री टू दिस एंड यू कंफर्म योर program and college preferences. Yeah, I think I've covered all the. So to give you an illustration, I know the text is very small here, but I had to put this on one slide. But this is already we have taken out a press release on this. There are two examples we have given. Delhi University, if you look at the scorecard of CUET, वहाँ पर दो तरह के स्कोर है, एक परसेंटाइल है और एक नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर है. हम नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर को कंसिडर कर रहे हैं एंड वी आर एडिंग दी नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर फॉर आर एडमिशंस. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ देर आर टू कैंडिडेट्स विद दीज कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स एंड दीज आर देयर नॉर्मलाइज मार्क्स, द टेबल adjacent to that, you know, it's already there on the website, so I took the liberty of, you know, reducing the size. If you see for both the candidate A and B, what would be his or her program specific marks, we have put that in the last column. That is self auto calculated. So for example, BA Honors Political Science, the eligibility is one language and any three subjects. For candidate A, we realize that उसके कॉम्बिनेशन हिंदी, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स एंड बायोलॉजी के अच्छे बन रहे हैं. मैथ्स हमने ड्रॉप कर दिया क्योंकि मैथ्स में उसके मार्क्स बहुत अच्छे नहीं थे, तो हिंदी, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री और बायो में मार्क्स अच्छे थे और यहाँ पर एलिजिबिलिटी भी यही थी. उस हिसाब से उसके 662.156100 बन रहे हैं. सिमिलरली फॉर कैंडिडेट बी, उसके इंग्लिश के, फिजिकल एजुकेशन, हिस्ट्री और सोशोलॉजी बेस्ट 4 बन रहा था, तो वो ले लिया. मार्क्स दोनों के सेम ही थे. इकोनॉमिक्स ऑनर्स के लिए एक कैंडिडेट के पास मैथ्स था और मैथ्स कंपलसरी था, तो मैथ्स के मार्क्स काउंट किए गए, इंग्लिश के किए गए और केमिस्ट्री और फिजिक्स जिसमें उसके बेटर स्कोर थे. बी के लिए वो नॉट एलिजिबल है क्योंकि उसके पास मैथ्स नहीं था. So on and so forth. All this table, you know, gives you an illustration. This is only an illustration. It is not exhaustive. This is only an illustration, and this is already there in the press note that we had taken out. So wherever the candidate, now if you look at, you know, BA program, there are 2 scores that the candidate is getting. It's 1, 2, 3. नीचे से चौथा वाला. BA program, there are 2 combination. पहला कॉम्बिनेशन है हिंदी, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी के साथ कैंडिडेट ए के लिए, और दूसरा कॉम्बिनेशन कैंडिडेट ए के लिए हिंदी, केमिस्ट्री और जनरल टेस्ट के साथ. और कैंडिडेट बी के लिए पहला कॉम्बिनेशन है इंग्लिश, फिजिकल एजुकेशन, हिस्ट्री और सोशोलॉजी के साथ, और दूसरा कॉम्बिनेशन है इंग्लिश, फिजिकल एजुकेशन और जनरल टेस्ट के साथ. सेकेंड कॉम्बिनेशन में क्योंकि जनरल टेस्ट इंक्लूडेड है तो मार्क्स प्रोरेट करके 682.223887 है, और प्रोग्राम कॉम्बिनेशन 1 में 662.1561600 है. सेकेंड कॉम्बिनेशन में स्कोर बेटर है तो उसे हम कंसिडर करेंगे. 682.22388857. So all this is being done at the back end. कौन सा सर?
लास्ट कॉलम में जो मार्क्स
सर
दिए हुए
दोनों के ना
हैं।
हमने जानबूझ के स्कोर एक ही लिए थे. ऊपर
Okay.
अगर आप देखेंगे ना स्कोर हमने जानबूझ के एक रखे ताकि एग्जाम्पल बता पाए.
अच्छा एक चीज और प्लीज
ये
बता
सिर्फ
दीजिए,
स्कोर के लिए था.
नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर है इसका मैक्स कितना है?
हाँ, जो नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर है सर, जो CUET
लेंगे तो वो उसका भी मैक्स हमें पता होना चाहिए.
CUET का जो पेपर था उसमें लैंग्वेज और जो डोमेन स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट थे वो 200 मार्क्स के थे. नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर का भी रेंज यही है, -20 से 200. जनरल टेस्ट का भी नॉर्मलाइज स्कोर का रेंज वही है जो उनके उसका था. तो वो CUET के आधार पर 300 में था, तो मैक्सिमम मार्क्स 300 ही होंगे जनरल टेस्ट में. सॉरी सर, नहीं, हमने उसको पुल अप किया है सर. ये कॉम्बिनेशन 700 में से हुआ, आउट ऑफ 800 ये हो गया. तो ये जो सेकंड कॉम्बिनेशन था ये 200 मार्क्स का लैंग्वेज का हुआ, 200 मार्क्स डोमेन स्पेसिफिक और 300 मार्क्स का जनरल टेस्ट हुआ. टोटल 700 हुए, लेकिन पहला कॉम्बिनेशन 800 से था तो उसको 800 पे कन्वर्ट कर दिया, तभी वो इक्वलाइज हो गया प्रोरेट करके. हाँ जी, नहीं पेपर स्पेसिफिक नहीं सर. अगर पेपर वाइज करेंगे ना तो टू मच ऑफ एम्फेसिस ऑन वन पेपर आके वो कर देगा. तो हम उसके टोटल को लेकर 700 का 800 में प्रोरेट कर रहे हैं जी. बिकॉज देर आर सम कॉम्बिनेशंस विच आर देयर वेयर आर देयर ओनली 2 combinations. दैट्स लॉट ऑफ लोड ऑन वन पेपर. As I said, and we reiterate, some advices to be here. Select as many programs as possible, subject to fulfilling the eligibility criteria. Fill maximum preferences. Arrange your preference order of program and college very, very, very carefully. Because this is the deciding factor. Preferences once given cannot be changed at a later stage. Please read the Bulletin of Information and confirm your preferences for program and college before the deadline of the preference filling phase. Start filling the CS form early, but do not be in a haste and do not wait for the last date. Again here, since we are launching it and if people are hearing it on the YouTube, please ensure आप अभी से अपने preferences अपने घर वालों से और बात करके बनाने शुरू कर दीजिए. Start making a list of that. Our allocation policy is this. Each candidate, depending upon his or her choices, his highest possible preference will be allocated to the candidate depending upon the following criteria: program specific merit list, program group specific merit list, category of the candidate and availability of seats. So little pictorial representation of how the allocations would be done. बच्चों की ये जब हम allocation उनकी हर प्रोग्राम के लिए अलग अलग एलोकेशन होगी और जब एलोकेशन हो जाएगा तब बच्चे के पास 2 ऑप्शंस होंगे. एक्चुअली ऑप्शन वैसे एक ही है, दूसरा तो करना ही नहीं चाहिए, विच इज़ इनएक्टिविटी. तो बच्चों को जो ऑप्शन मिला है उसको वो उनको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. जो ऑप्शन मिला है वो उस समय आपका बेस्ट मिला है. वेट मत करिए कि हमें अगले राउंड में मिलेगा. अगले राउंड तभी आप पार्टिसिपेट कर पाएंगे जो अभी आपको जो बेस्ट मिला है उसे आप लेंगे. अगर आपने वो मिस कर दिया तो हमें नहीं मालूम आप एडमिशन में पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं कि नहीं चाहते हैं, और नेक्स्ट राउंड में तो वो किसी और को सीट मिल जाएगी. तो उस समय जब जैसे ही फर्स्ट लिस्ट आती है और अगर आपको नाम आया है या सेकंड लिस्ट में आपका नाम आया या थर्ड लिस्ट में नाम आया है, वो आपको लेना ही पड़ेगा. अगर आप नहीं ले रहे हैं तो आप सिस्टम से बाहर हो जाएंगे. आई मीन दिस इज वेरी नेचुरल बिकॉज देन प्रॉब्ली यू डोंट नीड द सीट और वो अगले राउंड में तो किसी और को एलोकेट हो जाएगी. जब आप एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे, अब यहाँ पर कॉलेजेस का रोल होगा जैसे पहले होता था. जब बच्चा उसको एक्सेप्ट करेगा देन दिस विल गो ऑन टू योर पोर्टल and you will have to approve or reject the candidature. Once you do that, then they will get a notification on their dashboard to pay the fees. It's as simple as that. The only criteria that has to be kept in mind is please take the seat that you're getting in a particular round. Only then you will be able to participate in the subsequent rounds. If you're not doing any activity, we will consider it as non-acceptance to the provisionally allocated seat, and you may be out. In fact, you will be out of the CSAS process. Now, this will come to your portal and you will have to approve or reject it. There'll be 4 criteria which will be there on your platform. You will have to check the minimum eligibility, which is very simple. Class 12 पास बच्चा पास था कि नहीं था from a single board. फिर आपको उसकी प्रोग्राम स्पेसिफिक एलिजिबिलिटी चेक करनी होगी. तो बुलेटिन के साथ उसने जिस प्रोग्राम में था उसकी प्रोग्राम स्पेसिफिक एलिजिबिलिटी चेक कर लीजिए. तीसरा, सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग. हमने बहुत टाइम पहले अपने बुलेटिन में ही कह दिया था कि जो सब्जेक्ट आपने क्लास 12 में लिया था उसी का CUET में अभी आप बैठिए. एंड वी इनकरेज कि बच्चे उसी में दिया हो उन्होंने, तो आप ये सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग भी करेंगे. इस सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग की एक लिस्ट भी हम आपको भेज देंगे. जब एडमिशन शुरू होने वाले होंगे हमने एक एक्सेल शीट हम आपको भेज देंगे. दैट इज़ ऑल्सो बाय द वे ह्यूज. बहुत सारी सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग हमने करके रख ली है. जो पहले हम इक्वलेंस करते थे अब आपको वो नहीं करना पड़ेगा. बहुत टेंशन होती थी इक्वलेंस करने के लिए, आपको वो नहीं करना पड़ेगा. सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग की हम आपको पूरी एक्सेल शीट भेज देंगे जिसमें आपके पास ये होंगे.
बुलेटिन में ये लिखा है कि थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल के सेपरेट मार्क्स देने हैं. बट अगर कई बोर्ड्स ऐसे होते हैं जो थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल के मार्क्स सेपरेट नहीं देते हैं, इवन दैट इज रिटन इन दी बुलेटिन, CSAS बुलेटिन, दैट देन यू एंटर द मार्क्स इन थ्योरी पोर्शन and give 0 in maximum and marks obtained in the practical portion.
If you've not...
What I want to ask is कि पहले जैसे 70-30 का component भी होता था.
हाँ, अब उसकी प्रोरेशन की मैम जरूरत नहीं है because we don't need that now. तब हम क्या करते थे, वो थ्योरी प्रैक्टिकल को प्रोरेट करते थे. अब तो हमें सिर्फ चाहिए कि बच्चा पास हुआ, सब कुछ तो CUET के स्कोर पे हो गया.
एग्जैक्टली जी. सो दैट वी डोंट नीड. तो जो हम वो एक
बहुत
मैंडेटरी कंडीशन कह रहे हैं कि थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल सेपरेट होना चाहिए, जिन बोर्ड्स में अगर थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल के कंबाइंड मार्क्स दिए हुए हैं तो चलेगा, वो
बिल्कुल चलेगा. वही मैं कह रही हूँ, अगर थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल के इकट्ठे दिए हुए हैं तो प्रैक्टिकल को हमने 0 कर दीजिए. आपकी परसेंटेज देखकर
तो
सिर्फ आपको पास होना है.
बुलेटिन में हमें फिर वो पर्टिकुलरली नहीं लिखना चाहिए कि थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल शुड बी.
नहीं लिखा हुआ है.
It is there. I went through it.
Okay.
I went through. Second query, ma'am, is program specific eligibility of the candidate at the college level. Since the addition of normalized score of relevant subject for that particular course will be auto-calculated by university, are we supposed to recheck it?
No, not the score, check the subjects. The eligibility.
Okay,
that's what we want.
Thank you, ma'am.
सर हाँ, वो मेरे पास भी आ रही है. मैं ख़त्म करती हूँ फिर हम सारे क्वेश्चंस ले लेते हैं जी. ये हमारे पास भी बहुत सारी क्वेरीज आ रही. सो सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग आप चेक करेंगे एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स द वैलिडिटी एंड ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट्स. नाउ इफ यू आर सेटिस्फाइड, सो यू विल गेट दीज 4 components on your...
One moment. Fourth point that I want to ask, suppose a candidate has not updated his NCL, OBC NCL earlier till date 31st of August. And he has submitted or uploaded the older version. So at the time of admission, we have to give any kind of undertaking to them or not?
No, sir. No undertaking. This has been released. We cannot give admissions on undertaking now, this year onwards, because, you know, if that candidate becomes ineligible later, we will be wasting a seat. This we have released. The university has released a press note, and long time back we had done it, and also candidates would have uploaded their certificate in CUET also. Please remember, at University of Delhi जब हम certificate ले रहे हैं तो हम पहली बार नहीं ले रहे हैं. CUET में उन्होंने वो certificate डाले ही होंगे. And there, if they are given an undertaking, they should have been ready by now with their certificates.
Ma'am, I hope university will not change its stand of accepting the undertaking.
Not till now, we haven't changed.
At a later stage, it can be that way to say.
Why should we change it, sir? Okay, let's take the queries at the end, please. I have many things. I mean, I'm almost like midway through. Okay. So, yes, another aspect that we have added this year is while giving the online approval, if something like this that you just read, sir just read, that suppose a document is not readable, it's not in a readable format. कई बार बच्चे डॉक्यूमेंट ठीक से स्कैन करके नहीं डालते हैं या दिख नहीं रहा होता है या विजिबल नहीं होता है और आपको दिक्कत आती है, तो हम एक क्वेरी रेज वाला आपको एक प्लेटफॉर्म बना रहे हैं जिससे आप बच्चे से उसी पोर्टल के उसके डैशबोर्ड से उसका वो सर्टिफिकेट या कुछ क्वेरी अगर है तो उससे आप उससे मंगवा सकते हैं, बात कर सकते हैं. दिस विल बी जस्ट बी अ वन टाइम प्रोसेस विद इन वन लिस्ट. सो ये बार बार नहीं है कि आप जब भी करते जाएंगे, और ये क्वेरी जो है उस टाइम पीरियड में रिजॉल्व भी हो जानी चाहिए. तो आप बच्चों को वहाँ से अगर दोबारा सर्टिफिकेट अपलोड करने के लिए कहना दिख नहीं रहा तो आप मंगा लीजिए. लेकिन अगर कर सकते हैं, मेरा मतलब ये आग्रह अगर देख सकते कर लीजिए, अगर हमारा इस बार सिस्टम बहुत टाइम बाउंड है, बहुत क्विकली चलेगा और उतने ज़्यादा डेटा भी शायद आपके पास नहीं आएगा. आपके पास जितनी सीट्स हैं उससे उतने ही कैंडिडेट्स का आपके पास आएगा. तो ये भी हम एक सिस्टम कर रहे हैं. पहले आप मेल पे मंगाते थे एंड देयर यूज्ड टू बी लॉट ऑफ कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस थ्रू योर ओन ईमेल आईडीज. वी आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड इट इन अ सिस्टम दैट दिस मे बी रिजॉल्व्ड, बट प्लीज cooperate with us. We are also doing it for the first time. But we are trying to, build it as user-friendly for both college and the candidate. So, no application. This is a pain area for the university. Every year we face that the applications are not processed on time. This year onwards, we don't have a scope to do that. All applications will have to be processed within the stipulated time period. So, this every year it is a pain for us at the admission branch that the applications were left unattended. Neither reject nor do. बच्चे भी बैठे होते हैं कि हो जाएगा और फिर नेक्स्ट लिस्ट में वो हमारे लिए ग्रीवियांस बन जाता है. अब तो हमें वो ग्रीवियांस को सेटल करना ही पड़ेगा उसी लिस्ट के अंदर. हमारे पास वो स्कोप ही नहीं है कि हम उसको आगे स्पिल ओवर कर सकें, तो क्योंकि वो सीट नहीं होगी हमारे पास. तो all colleges, I request you to please process, start doing processing from day one when you get the applications, and please don't wait for the last day again. So once you approve, the candidate will have to pay the fees. In case of rejection, again, you will have to specify what the reason of rejection is. It is very important. It could be any one of these 5 reasons. Either the candidate did not fulfill the eligibility, minimum eligibility, or the program specific eligibility, or the subject mapping, or the documents, or if the candidate was not responding to your query. But before rejecting, please give it number of thoughts before rejecting. Once you reject it, it's going to give another loop of grievance for us. So before rejecting, please be very benevolent, and as much as benevolent with the kids as you can. This I've covered. So once we complete, this is like one round of allocation. Before any subsequent round, the university will announce, depending on the data that we get from your platform, the seats that we get due to rejections, due to cancellations and withdrawals, if any, the number of vacant seats that we get in the subsequent round, we will fill only those seats in the subsequent round. Before a subsequent round, the candidate will have an option to upgrade or freeze. Now this is where it becomes important. The candidates who have been allocated a seat will have to press an upgrade if they wish to grow higher into their preference order. So if in the subsequent round they wish to go for their higher preference, they can go for upgrade. If they are happy and satisfied with whatever has been allocated to them and they do not want to go any higher, they will press a freeze button. Freezing a freeze is like frozen, then you are sitting on that seat and you will not be upgraded ever. So they'll have to be careful before on pressing a freeze button. Upgrade you can go on, we'll keep upgrading you. As you keep pressing the upgrade button, we'll keep upgrading you. There are tie-breaking rules, but now after looking at the normalization score, we don't think we would need it, yet they are there. If in case there is a tie, we would use the best 3 average of class 12, then best 4, then best 5, and then finally the age of the candidate. There is also a provision of mid-entry. If candidate, we don't want to encourage this, we don't want to do this, but if a candidate fails to fill the CSAS form, they can still enter the system by paying a fees of 1,000 rupees. However, their candidature and their allocation would be subject to, they cannot claim a seat on their score which somebody else has got. So there are certain restrictions on the mid-entry candidates. After we complete some specific rounds and the seats are vacant, like every year we will announce spot admission rounds to fill the vacant seats. Here the candidates will get the opportunity to select only one program, and the criteria for allocation would be availability of seats, program specific merit, order of preference of the college, and the category of the candidate. In the first round of allocation, as you are familiar, we would be doing some bit of extra allocations, 20% in UR, OBC, EWS, and 30% for SC, ST, and PWD. So you may get this list in your first admission round. We will give you adequate time to process these. Say next round से बहुत कम फिर आनी शुरू हो जाएंगी. ECA sports category admissions are as last year. There are 14 ECA categories, same subcategories. The validity of these certificates have been increased to 5 years from 1st April 2017 to 30th June 22. The candidates will, like last year, they'll upload their 5, best 3 will be considered. Here the ECA merit score will be considered on the combination of 25% of CUET merit-based program-specific eligibility and 75% of the ECA sports or certificates combined score. Similarly for sports also, here again, 25% will be given to the program-specific percentage, 25% to their sports certificate, and 50% to the sports trial. Here again, there will be a combined sports merit list. Supernumerary quota, all supernumerary quota are honored, subject to their being appearing in CUET. Initiatives that the admission branch has taken and the university has taken, we have come out with many videos. They're already on our website. Please take a look at it. All this, even today's video, these proceedings are being streamed live on our admission website, and it will remain there. There are, I think now we have around 5 or 6 videos already, some CUET and our team is also preparing videos on CSAS, which will be very soon there. Infographics, as I showed you, lot of helpful videos, public webinars we have started doing. Next week, we are doing a series of public webinars, public awareness webinars. Every day we have one. And we have initiated many chatbot help desk facilities. We are answering to help desk phone numbers, phone lines. We are chatbots is there on the admission website through which the candidates getting answers, and phone calls are being addressed. I wish to put on record that there is also a UG admission email ID. Till now, all emails are answered. Every email gets answered within 24 hours. This is the phone number on which we have our help desk people answering the phone numbers for any queries. I request all the colleges to please publish the bulletin of information, the CSAS, illustrative example, these videos, and proceedings of all the webinars on your website also, so that candidates, when they land to your college-specific website, they get attached to these resources. And also the college-specific information on your website, the courses that you are offering, the fee structure, and the admission committees that you have. Also create your own help desk, because today onwards we'll now ask you to create your help desk and help candidates in filling the preferences and college's information and data. And do refer to our website at a very regular basis. We are putting up updates almost like every second day. We're putting up something or the other, and do maintain the deadlines. It's a request. Please do not leave any application unattended once you get them on your platform. Please address all these within the stipulated time frame. And please tell the candidates to only look at our socials websites and Facebook, Twitter handles, and we only correspond through du.ac.in. Thank you.
मैम, ये सुपर न्यूमरी जो एडमिशन्स हैं उनका टाइमलाइन क्या होगा, कब से शुरू होगा, कब तक चलेगा, इसके बारे में? पीएमएसएस का तो आ गया, लेकिन वार्ड कोटा या दूसरे जो
सब उसी में ही है. आपको जब आपका बच्चा, कोई भी बच्चा अप्लाई कर रहा है, तो वो वहाँ पे वार्ड कोटा भी क्लिक करेगा. वार्ड कोटा जब वो क्लिक करेगा तो साथ में ही अपना सर्टिफिकेट अपलोड कर देगा. अब ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि वार्ड कोटा भरते वक्त उसकी प्रेफरेंस कुछ और होगी और वैसे प्रेफरेंस कुछ और होगी. तो जो उसकी फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस है वो भरता चला जाएगा अपनी चॉइस के हिसाब से, और यूनिवर्सिटी कोशिश करेगी कि उसको भी एक सेंट्रलाइज पोर्टल के थ्रू ही हम उसको सीट एलोकेशन कर दें. तो उसमें ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं आएगी. स्टिल कोई भी दिक्कत होगी वार्ड कोटा के लिए वी विल टेक केयर सेपरेटली ऑल्सो, बट दैट इज नॉट एन इश्यू एट ऑल, क्योंकि एवरीबडी, जब हम आज की डेट में 70,000 के ऊपर 50% अगर हम एक्स्ट्रा कर रहे हैं तो स्मॉल चीज़ों का हम ध्यान रख सकते हैं। हमारा जो थोड़ा सा टाइम लगा वो इसीलिए है कि वी वांट टू बी वेरी श्योर कि कोई एरर ना हो और ये चीज़ स्मूथली निकल जाए। और एवरी एडमिशन इज ओनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द CUET स्कोर। जी, that we will see how to tackle that situation in the colleges.
Okay. Physical verification will be done at the end. You know, when all the rounds are closed, then we will ask the candidates to come to for physical verification. We don't want to come between the allocations, because वो जब last में जब उनका जो final allocated college होगा वो वहाँ जाके documents का physical verification
वो आपके ऊपर है। हम जब आप सीट allocate करेंगे, whatever documents are available, you can see that. और अगर उसके बाद भी आप चेक करना चाहें, you are free to check, क्योंकि कुछ चीज़ें जो हैं वो डायरेक्टली मैप हो रही हैं। एक बच्चे का नाम, फादर का नाम, मदर का नाम, उसकी फोटो, वो डायरेक्टली हम NTA से ले रहे हैं, बच्चे से नहीं ले रहे, वहाँ खत्म हो गया। दूसरा, 12th के जो उसके बोर्ड के मार्क्स हैं वो बोर्ड से डायरेक्टली हम ले रहे हैं, वहाँ भी वो खत्म हो गया। इसके बावजूद भी अगर आपको लगता है कुछ सर्टिफिकेट में किसी चीज़ों में कोई दिक्कत है, कोई डाउट है, ऑल दी कॉलेजेस आर फ्री टू चेक एनीथिंग एट एनी स्टेज। ये नहीं है कि आज एडमिशन हो गया, एनी रॉन्ग इंफॉर्मेशन, any lack of document would lead to cancellation of admission.
Sir,
वो सब हम इसमें ही इनबिल्ट कर देंगे, वो हम इसमें इनबिल्ट कर देंगे एंटी रैगिंग का भी, कि वो हम बच्चे से जब फॉर्म क्लिक करवाएंगे उससे भरवा लेंगे कि आई प्रॉमिस दैट आई वुड नॉट इंडल्ज इनटू दिस काइंड ऑफ एन एक्टिविटी। उसके बावजूद भी आप चाहें अपने यहाँ पे भी भरवा लीजिए कि कल कोई ऐसी दिक्कत ना है।
Sir, the fees paid in one college, will it be transferred?
Yes, we will transfer that. The same, हमने कोई प्रोसीजर चेंज नहीं किया। आपने अगर हमारी एलिजिबिलिटी देखी, हमारे प्रोसीजर देखे, सेम एलिजिबिलिटीज आर देयर विच वर देयर इन द लास्ट ईयर। कोई एलिजिबिलिटी में चेंज नहीं है। रेदर व्हाट वी हैव डन इज वी हैव मेड मोर ओपन एलिजिबिलिटीज नाउ, क्योंकि बहुत स्ट्रिंजेंट नहीं है। Wherever the sciences are required, we know without physics, chemistry, mathematics, a student cannot study physics honors, so that has been insisted upon. For biology, physics, chemistry, biology has been insisted upon. For other courses, wherever the specific eligibilities are required, we have mentioned that. Like BBE, there was an undergraduate test for specific 9 courses, one of the BBE is also there. So there we have kept the same eligibility as was there in the टेस्ट एट दैट टाइम, वहां पे हमने जनरल एबिलिटी का टेस्ट उसका लिया है। जी, एक सेकंड। हाँ जी मैम, मैडम आपको बताते हैं, हमारे पास जो बच्चों ने अप्लाई करा है 6,14,000 बच्चों ने दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी को ऑप्ट किया है।
सर अब तो और हो गए इंटेंट से,
उसके बाद जो चेंज होता चला गया। पहली बार जब अप्लाई हुआ 6,14,000 का डाटा आया था, फिर बीच में जब बच्चों को लगा वो क्लिक नहीं कर पा रहे तो पता चला उन्होंने ड्यू क्लिक नहीं करी, हमने उनकी विंडो खुलवा कर ड्यू क्लिक करवाया। इसीलिए मैम हम जो बार बार ये बोल रहे हैं, आज की जो मेजर एम्फेसिस है आज की काउंसलिंग का, वो ये है कि बच्चे मैक्सिमम कॉलेजेस को ऑप्ट करके चले, मैक्सिमम कॉलेजेस को। मैडम देखिए इस बार, अब ये देखिए, ये तो ट्रेंड देखिए रिक्वायरमेंट की, सप्लाई और रिक्वायरमेंट की भी चीज़ है, आगे का बच्चा देखता है। आप ये बताइए कि आपके पिछले साल में अगर 46 में से 38 आए, किसी ने नहीं रोका था पिछली बार, तो आपका मेरिट पे जैसे हो रहा था वैसे ही चल रहा था। 13 मैं कह रहा हूँ, तो मैडम किसी ने रोका नहीं था। ये तो अब आपके कोर्स के ऊपर है कि किस तरीके का कोर्स आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो, उसकी आगे अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या हैं, वो सारी चीजें हैं। हमारी तरफ से हम जो बार बार कह रही हैं कि आप बच्चों को बोलिए सारी ऑप्शंस एक्स्ट्रा जितने भर सकते हैं भरें। उसी कारण से हम ये चाह रहे हैं कि पहले राउंड में ही अगर बच्चों ने मैक्सिमम कॉलेजेस ऑप्ट करे हुए होंगे तो हम 20% एक्स्ट्रा यूआर की पोस्ट एडमिशन करके जा रहे हैं, 30% हम SC/ST के, तो हमें उम्मीद है कि शायद फर्स्ट राउंड में ही एक्सेस एडमिशन होंगे तो ड्रॉप आउट्स के चांसेस कम हो जाएंगे। तो वो हमने पहले ये इसीलिए ही हम पहले बार बार ये कर रहे हैं कि सारे जितने ऑप्शन है वो भर लें, और बच्चों को साथ में ही विंडोज भी दिखाई देंगी कि किस कॉलेज में किस कोर्स में कितनी एप्लीकेशंस आ चुकी हैं, कि भाई ये कोर्स में आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, इस कोर्स के कितने कॉलेजेस ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं, जिससे देखिए बच्चे को अपनी मार्कशीट पता है, उसको अपना स्कोर पता है, उसे दूसरे का स्कोर नहीं पता, उसको सिर्फ ये पता है कि उससे ऊपर कितने कैंडिडेट हैं। उसका स्कोर अगर 99% है, परसेंटाइल है, तो उसको सिर्फ ये पता है कि 1% बच्चा उससे ऊपर है, लेकिन वो 1% बच्चा 16 लाख का है, वो 1% बच्चा 16 लाख का है, तो वो बच्चे को पता है कि कितने बच्चे उससे ऊपर हैं। कंपटीशन टफ है, तो वो उस तरीके से हम बार बार ये कह रहे हैं कि आप लोगों के पास भी जब कोई क्वेरी आए उनको बोलिए कि जितने कोर्सेज हैं भरें, आप कोर्सेज टिक करेंगे, उसके बाद एक ऑप्शन आएगा आपके पास कि अब इसकी नंबरिंग कर दीजिए 1 2 3 4, कि पहले क्लिक कर लिया, फिजिक्स ऑनर्स था 15 कॉलेजों ने 15 का 15 क्लिक कर लिए, केमिस्ट्री ऑनर्स था 15 का 15 केमिस्ट्री वाले क्लिक कर लिए। फिर नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे आ रहा हूं मैं कि अब इसकी मैं प्रेफरेंस भरूं कि मेरी फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस हंसराज कॉलेज की फिजिक्स ऑनर्स है, या मेरी फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस किसी और कॉलेज की है, मेरी किसकी है, वो उस तरीके से भरता चला जाएगा। हम बच्चे की मेरिट को उठा रहे हैं, जो बेस्ड ऑन दी एलिजिबिलिटीज बच्चे की मेरिट भी बन गई अपने आप क्लैरिटी के साथ, कोई किसी में डाउट नहीं है। बच्चे की मेरिट उस जो 79 मेरिट लिस्ट हमारी बनी उसमें से उसका जिसका भी पहला नंबर उठाऊंगा उसने जो पहला ऑप्शन दे रखा होगा नंबर 1 का, तो इसका मतलब उसको फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस की सीट मिल जाएगी, उससे ऊपर तो कोई है ही नहीं उसमें। ऐसे करते करते वो सीट एलोकेशन होता चला जाएगा, लेकिन बच्चा एट ए टाइम एक ही सीट ले पाएगा, ज्यादा सीटें नहीं ले पाएगा। तो वो भी चीजें हमने इंश्योर करनी है जी। आपके पास कुछ नहीं है मैम, हम सीट एलोकेट करके दे रहे हैं आपके पास। हाँ। सब कुछ सिस्टम का आपके पास, तो सिर्फ जब बच्चा देखिए बच्चा आ रहा है आपके पास, आपको तो सिर्फ ये देखना है कि उस बच्चे ने सारे डिटेल सही दिए या नहीं दिए, बाकी उससे ज्यादा आपको नहीं देखना है। प्लीज वन बाय वन प्लीज आप पूछिए। एक मिनट से एक सेकंड जी।
सर एंड मैम, देयर आर 2 क्वेश्चंस।
एक मिनट रुक जाइए प्लीज।
द फर्स्ट
रुक जाइए, रुकिए प्लीज, बोलिए सर। सर
इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन की क्वेरी बहुत आ रही है, जिसमें कि अदर कैटेगरी के भी और ईसीए कैटेगरी का भी है। बहुत सारा स्टूडेंट्स है जो कि क्लास 12 में उनका जो सब्जेक्ट था उसमें टेस्ट नहीं दे करके उन्होंने दूसरे सब्जेक्ट में दे दिया क्योंकि उनको मालूम नहीं था। जैसे उनका 12 में सब्जेक्ट था पीसीएम, वो पीसीएम में नहीं दे करके उन्होंने दे दिया हिस्ट्री, पोल साइंस, क्योंकि उनको सोशल साइंस में लेना था।
हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के देखिए उन्होंने क्या करा, उससे हमारा मतलब नहीं है। हमारा बुलेटिन तो पहले से अनाउंस्ड है, उसमें हमने क्लियर लाइन लिखी हुई है, तो वो जो नहीं दिया है अभी नहीं है, वो हमारा सिस्टम में हट जाएंगे ना अपने आप ही। वो हमारा कुछ चीजें हैं जो हमने अनाउंस करी हुई थी अपनी एडमिशन पॉलिसी में, वो ऑलरेडी अनाउंस्ड है, हमारे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स में दिया गया था, लिखा गया था। आप उन सब्जेक्ट्स में जरूर अपीयर हो जो आपने क्लास 12 में पढ़े हैं, आप एक्स्ट्रा कर लो, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। तो वो जो भी है उस तरीके से वो है, लेकिन जो हम अनाउंस कर चुके हैं वी विल स्टिक टू दैट, देन वी विल सी व्हाट इज द इशू इन इट। लेकिन एज ऑफ नाउ वी विल गो स्ट्रिक्टली एज पर आवर बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन विच वाज पब्लिश्ड वे बैक इन अप्रैल। उससे पहले, उसके बाद ही बच्चों ने सीयूटी के फॉर्म भरे हैं। डीयू ने पहले अपना बुलेटिन निकाला, सीयूटी का फॉर्म उसके बाद में निकला था, और वो क्लैरिटी के साथ निकली थी चीजें जो बताई हुई थी सारे के सारे। जी आप बताइए।
Good evening, sir and ma'am. So my first question is whether if the student upgrades its admission, so he has to pay any money or fees?
No, nothing.
And suppose a student applies in a course and he gets in the first admission, but the college is rejected. then he will get some other course in the same list, or he has to wait for the second list?
That depends upon the nature of rejection. Suppose the nature of rejection, you have been rejected at the minimum eligibility.
Yes.
Which means that, you are not qualified for CSAS also, because you did not qualify. However, if it is a program specific rejection, then he or she will get the chance in another program.
Okay.
And if it is invalidity of certificates, if one college has already seen and they are satisfied that the candidate does not qualify in that particular category, then this obviously will take you out of the system.
So it may be the case that he is blacklisted as well, if he is not having that.
We will not say blacklisted.
Blacklisted we can't say.
Okay. And the one is, suppose there are so many combinations. Sir was saying that 206 combinations are there to be a program. So if one combination is not been filled by any student, so
whatever combinations you will tick, you will be granted seat out of that only. Okay. I cannot grant a seat to you on your imagination that this was in your mind, because I cannot read your mind, number one. Number two, in between, suppose this situation comes, in between we are going to give an opportunity to the student कि कुछ छूट गया आप ऐड कर लो, लेकिन इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं कि जितनी एलिजिबिलिटी आपकी बनती है सबको क्लिक कर लो ना, कौन रोक रहा है आपको? आपको कोई रुकावट नहीं है. फिल एज मेनी कॉम्बिनेशंस एज यू कैन वेर एवर यू फील यू आर एलिजिबल. जी सर. किसके?
सर हमने इसका प्रिस्क्राइब फॉर्मेट डाल दिया था, वो जो 31st वो मैंने
बता दीजिए.
अगर वैसा कोई प्रोग्राम, वैसा कोई कॉलेज जिसको केवल 20% एक्स्ट्रा आपने स्टार्टिंग में दिया और विड्रॉल उससे अगर कम हुआ तो क्या वो ज़्यादा एडमिशन
नहीं, उसका वो चले वो रहेगा. देखिए हमें ये फर्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ दिस इज वी आर कैरिंग आउट एडमिशन इन सीयूटी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. वी ऑल नो कि ड्रॉप आउट्स होते हैं, कुछ में ज्यादा होते हैं कुछ में कम होते हैं, लेकिन ड्रॉप आउट्स होते हैं. अब जो हम सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो हम सब कॉलेजेस फेस करते हैं, इंस्टीट्यूशन एज ए यूनिवर्सिटी फेस करती है कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू फिल दी सीट्स फॉर SC, ST, OBC, PWD जो नहीं होती, एंड देन वी हैव टू आंसर दैट. सो टू मिटिगेट दैट काइंड ऑफ हार्डशिप वी हैव डिसाइडेड कि हम एक्स्ट्रा एडमिशन लेके जाएंगे, जिससे कि अगर ड्रॉप आउट भी होगा वी विल बी एबल टू मेंटेन दैट गैप. हम ये जो एडमिशन करके जा रहे हैं एक्स्ट्रा सीट्स का 20% एक्स्ट्रा या 30% एक्स्ट्रा, ये सिर्फ फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ उसके ऊपर है. सेकेंड राउंड पे एक्स्ट्रा सीट्स नहीं है. सेकेंड राउंड पे सीट तब आएगी अगर वो 100 से कम चला गया. 100 सीटें थी, हमने फर्स्ट राउंड में 120 कर दिया. सेकेंड राउंड जब तक हमारा स्टार्ट हो रहा है वहां पता चला किसी कॉलेज में 5 ही विड्रॉल हुए हैं, तो वहां हम कोई दोबारा एडमिशन नहीं देंगे बिकॉज वो सीट अवेलेबल नहीं है. लेकिन जिस कॉलेज में 120 दी थी और 99 हो गई तो वहां पे सिर्फ एक ही सीट अवेलेबल है, सेकेंड राउंड में सिर्फ एक सीट अलोकेट होगी. तो वी आर ट्राइंग दैट. सी वी ऑल्सो आर नॉट अवेयर कि क्या एडमिशन होगा, किस तरीके से आएगा, बट कोई बात नहीं. अभी तक हमारे कई कॉलेजेस के अंदर जब कट ऑफ आती थी तो काफी एक्सेस एडमिशन भी होते थे. 100 सीटों की बजाय 500 भी एडमिशन हुए. अब तो हम 100 के बजाय सिर्फ 120 ही मान रहे हैं, तो उसमें ऐसा दिक्कत नहीं. वी विल बी एबल टू, कोशिश करते हैं, एक बार पता चल जाएगा. क्योंकि अभी जेई के एडमिशन नहीं हुए, आपके मेडिकल के एडमिशन अभी नहीं हुए हैं, तो वो सारा लोड थोड़ा सा हम स्लो इसीलिए भी चल रहे हैं कि वो वाले बच्चे जिन्होंने निकलना है इंजीनियरिंग में और मेडिकल में वो निकल जाएं, क्योंकि नहीं तो वो सीट यहाँ ब्लॉक करते हैं, बाद में वहां जाते हैं, फिर विड्रॉ करते हैं. तो हमारा तो थोड़ा सा स्लो ये भी है कि वो पहले हो गया तो हम आराम से हमारा एडमिशन स्मूथ हो जाएगा, सो दैट वी कैन स्टार्ट अवर सेशन ऑल्सो टाइमली. इसीलिए हम सेशन का टेंटेटिवली जो ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर सर ने डिक्लेयर किया कि 1 नवंबर इसलिए रख के चल रहे हैं कि अगर फर्स्ट राउंड में हमारी मैक्सिमम सीटें भर गई देन वी विल नॉट वेट फॉर एनी अदर थिंग, बट द टाइम ओनली विल टेल कि क्या होगा. What is the? As on date, the last date we have kept is 10th of October. For coming on phase 2, once we see that. But let's see. See, we are not stringent on many things, but as on date, the declared last date is 10th of October. So after that, as Professor Haneet must have told you, we would be coming out with a simulated list.
No, I didn't.
Huh?
I didn't tell.
अच्छा, so we would be, बच्चे ने अभी भी प्रेफरेंस भरी, सब कुछ करा, उनको नहीं पता, उनको किसी का स्कोर नहीं पता, हम एक सिमुलेटेड लिस्ट भी निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, जिससे कि एक बार बच्चा वो सिमुलेटेड लिस्ट पे भी देख ले कि उसका क्या सिचुएशन बन रही है, कि जिस कैटेगरी में भी उसने अप्लाई करा है उसका उस कैटेगरी में उसका रैंक क्या आ रहा है। अगर वो देख ले, उसको हम एक विंडो और देंगे कि भाई तू अपनी करेक्शन कर ले, कि तुम अपनी करेक्शन कर लो, क्योंकि हम एक खेल रहे हैं। जब तक कट ऑफ आती थी तब तक हमें पता चलता था, लेकिन हमें कट ऑफ पे भी पता नहीं चलता था। 100 पे भी हमने बहुत एडमिशंस करे, हमने 99 पे बहुत एडमिशन, तो हमें कहीं नहीं। सो वी आर ट्राइंग अवर बेस्ट कि प्रोफेसर हनीत हैज डेवलप दैट काइंड ऑफ दिस थिंग कि सिमुलेटेड लिस्ट भी निकालें, जिससे कि बच्चे देख सके, उसके बावजूद भी वो अपना ऑप्शन चेंज करना चाहें, ऐड करना चाहें, वो जो करना चाहे करें, लेकिन जब वो क्लोज हो गया उसके बाद वी विल ओनली डिक्लेयर द मेरिट लिस्ट, वी विल ओनली ग्रांट द एडमिशन टू दोज कैंडिडेट्स।
Ma'am, more or less your portal will be similar.
Yeah.
Because this is, many colleges have the different styles of checking. That we leave to the colleges to do. जैसे पहले मिलता था मैम, जिस दिन लिस्ट आएगी उस दिन से जो एप्लीकेशन आपके पास, जैसे ही बच्चा अप्लाई करेगा आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाएगा। जैसे पहले करते थे ना, एक्सेप्ट करते ही आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ जाएगा, फिर उनके लिए विंडो बंद करेंगे, आपको एक दिन एक्स्ट्रा देंगे, फिर उनको एक दिन एक्स्ट्रा देंगे एडमिशन फीस के लिए, वैसे ही चलेगा। जैसे ही वो करेंगे आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे उसी समय दिख जाएगा। सब्जेक्ट इज अगेन जो भी सर बता रहे थे, क्लास 12 का और CUET की सब्जेक्ट, वो उसने वही पढ़े कि नहीं पढ़े, वो सब्जेक्ट मैपिंग है।
वो अभी रुक जाएगा, वो शी इज पुटिंग ऑल दोस चेक्स इन द सिस्टम कि आपका क्लास 12 का ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा है, CUET में भी आपका वही होना चाहिए।
नहीं, BA प्रोग्राम ले सकता है, वो
ले सकता है
मैम,
सब कुछ ले सकता है वो आप मैडम ये नहीं देखोगे, आप दो चीजें मिक्स करके चले गए। आप CUET के कंटेक्स्ट में चल रहे हो या एडमिशंस में हमारी एलिजिबिलिटी बिल्कुल क्लियर है, हमारी एडमिशंस में एलिजिबिलिटी है, फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथमेटिक्स, फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री बायोलॉजी, एक इंग्लिश और 3 सब्जेक्ट, जनरल एबिलिटी, वो सब कुछ एलिजिबिलिटी वैसी की वैसी है जैसी लास्ट ईयर थी। जैसे आपने लास्ट ईयर एडमिशन करे थे, कोई चेंज नहीं है उस एलिजिबिलिटी में। आप जो चीज क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे, हम ये कह रहे हैं क्लास 12th में जो सब्जेक्ट पढ़े उसको उन्हीं सब्जेक्ट्स में अपीयर होना है CUET में। अगर उसने CUET में उन सब्जेक्ट्स में अपीयर नहीं हुआ है तो दिक्कत है, अदरवाइज कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, वो हर जगह एलिजिबल है।
NC, sorry, 31st. After, yes.
Later.
Yes, central list.
Central list, वो तो central list है।
Of what?
We have been, see, सुनिए, we have been writing, we have issued notices this time, well in advance। हमने डेट बढ़ाते चले गए स्टूडेंट्स को कि पहले अगस्त की डेट दी, फिर 31 अगस्त करके चले गए, फिर सितंबर करा कि आप OBC के सर्टिफिकेट्स अपने तैयार कर लीजिए। इसके बावजूद भी आज भी मैडम एक नोटिस निकाल देंगे कि 30 सितंबर तक आपका सर्टिफिकेट तैयार हो जाना चाहिए। तो इस बार जो हम चीजें करके जा रहे हैं कि इस बार जिसके डॉक्यूमेंट्स पूरे होंगे वही एडमिशन ले पाएगा, जिनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स पूरे नहीं होंगे कोई अंडरटेकिंग को हमने अलाउ नहीं कर रहे हैं इस बार। That little bit, madam, that little bit name change, see, वो तो बच्चा एडमिशन लेने के बाद भी चेंज करवा सकता है, वो तो आप जानते हो ना, एडमिशन लेने के बाद भी करा सकता है। लेकिन अभी तो जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स उसने भरे वो तो वही है ना जो उसके पास था। 12th का एग्जाम तो अभी हुए ना उसके, और CUET में भी अभी बैठा वो। ये तो गैप नहीं है कि 2 साल पहले 12th में बैठा था और आज CET में बैठा है, ऐसे बहुत स्ट्रे केसेस होंगे. सो दैट वी कैन टेक ए कॉल एट दैट अप्रोप्रिएट टाइम ओनली.
एक क्वेश्चन है
नहीं अब आपका हम किसी तरीके से नहीं कर रहे मैडम, बच्चे की चॉइस है, हम नहीं कर रहे. फर्स्ट जिसके सब में 100% हैं, अगर वो कहता है कि वो X कॉलेज में उसकी प्रेफरेंस बनना, हम उसको X ही देंगे. हम नहीं देने वाले किसी को कुछ भी मैडम. जो चॉइस, जो उसकी मेरिट, उस पे चलेगा. हम नहीं दे रहे किसी को. हम नहीं कह रहे कि तुम अच्छे बच्चे तुम यहां नहीं जाओ तुम वहां जाओ. जो बच्चा जिस कोर्स की चॉइस भरेगा, जिस कॉलेज की चॉइस देगा, वो वहां जाना चाहेगा, हम उसको उसकी प्रेफरेंस के ऊपर देंगे. हम उसकी मेरिट को लेंगे, मेरिट के बाद उसकी प्रेफरेंस में जाएंगे, प्रेफरेंस के बाद उसका ऑर्डर ऑफ मेरिट देखेंगे कि फर्स्ट में उसने क्या दिया, सेकंड में उसने क्या दिया और कहां उसको मिल रहा है. जहां उसको मिल रहा है वहां दे देंगे, सीट एलोकेट करेंगे. हमें कुछ नहीं पता किसी भी चीज का कि कौन क्या मांग रहा है, क्या नहीं मांग रहा है, हम नहीं जानते. एक मिनट
सर, एक्सटेंडिंग योर स्टेटमेंट, सपोजिंग देयर इज अ मैचिंग ऑफ प्रेफरेंस मेरिट एंड one college has around 1,000 seats in total, different courses, and you add the percentage 20%, 30%, what will be the size of the first list for the college, number one, and how much time you will give them to process the applications?
Sir, same. See, we will try to allocate. Suppose we get this kind of a response, that everybody is there, and we are getting sufficient number of applications, we would allocate all the seats in first go. We would not like to go for second lot at all.
How many days you will give to process for the college?
If everything is there, then we may if we feel our data is there, that sufficient number of all the seats have been filled in the first one, because that data would be available, we may give 3 days, we may give 4 days, we may give 5 days.
We are not sure about that.
Because I don't know how many are there.
Because generally we get, in the earlier practice, we used to get 3 days, but in the first 2 lists there were hardly any admissions.
So now,
now this will be a rush of all the applications.
Now it is not like that. See, no, it is the same procedure, sir. Last time also it was the same procedure. Student used to click, they used to come on your portal. Now here, on the first day itself, the student is available on your portal.
Yes.
Student on the first day, the student is available on your portal. So there is no gap. Now here, no question that in the first day student has a choice to click the college and go there. Here, these 2 days the student is already done on the portal.
Already done that.
Nothing is there, Hanji. What? PM SSS, they also have to come on the portal. We have already given to them. They will also fill on the portal. वो बाद में करेंगे जब हम सीट एलोकेट करेंगे उसकी, जिसको भी करेंगे. कॉलेज को कोई लिस्ट नहीं जा रहा, सब कुछ कंप्यूटर पे है. जस्ट ए मिनट, कुछ पूछ रहे हैं, सुन लेंगे ना उनके भी प्लीज. कहाँ से आ जाएगा बच्चा, आएगा कहाँ से? हम लगा रहे हैं ना. अगर आपकी 100 सीटें हैं जनरल की, हम 120 ही दे रहे हैं आपको, 121 नहीं दे रहे हैं हम आपको. एरर होगा तो होगा, 100 को 500 दे दें, लेकिन 100 के 120 ही दे रहे हैं आपको. सारा सिस्टम चेक करा जा रहा है, तभी हम टाइम ले रहे हैं कि कोई एरर ना हो. फर्स्ट में, सिर्फ फर्स्ट लिस्ट में. सेकेंड लिस्ट में तो अगर 100 से कम आया तो नहीं करेंगे. 100 सीटें थी, 120 हुए, 120 के 101 भी रह गया तो भी एडमिशन नहीं है, 101 का 100 भी रह गया तो भी एडमिशन नहीं है. 99 हुआ तो 1 सीट आई, बस सिर्फ 1 सीट आई. अब बताइए जी.
सर क्वेश्चन ये,
प्लीज
कैन वी हैव सर, क्वेश्चन ये है कि अभी आपने बोला कि भाई जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है दैट इज द सेम विच वाज देयर इन द लास्ट ईयर. यू नो, लास्ट ईयर बीकॉम ऑनर्स में एडमिशन के लिए मैथमेटिक्स कंपलसरी था. इस साल मैम ने अभी बताया इलस्ट्रेशन में कि भाई मैथमेटिक्स और अकाउंटेंसी इज देयर.
ये सुनिए, हु डिसाइड्स दिस एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया? द डिपार्टमेंट कंसर्न.
Yes,
द
sir.
कमिटी ऑफ कोर्सेज, जो क्राइटेरिया आया है यहाँ पे, एवरीथिंग हैज कम फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट ओनली.
नहीं, दैट इज ओके सर.
तो कोई चीज उन्होंने खुद कहा कि इंग्लिश एक लैंग्वेज, मैथमेटिक्स और 2 सब्जेक्ट रखिए. दूसरी कैटेगरी में उन्होंने कहा एक लैंग्वेज, अकाउंटेंसी और 2 सब्जेक्ट रखिए. अगर मैथमेटिक्स नहीं पढ़ा, अकाउंटेंसी पढ़िए तो भी ले सकता है.
तो दिस एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया इज इन देयर इन द यूजी बुलेटिन.
यस सर,
Yes, sir.
बिल्कुल 100%. आपसे हम जो भी चीज डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो हमारे बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन में नोटिफाई हो चुकी है. और ये सारे क्राइटेरिया कंसर्न्ड एचओडीज, कंसर्न्ड कमिटीज के थ्रू आए और फिर अप्रूव हुए.
दूसरी बात सर, मान लीजिए पहले ये होता था कि किसी स्टूडेंट ने फिजिक्स पढ़ी है, केमिस्ट्री पढ़ी है और वो भी बीकॉम ऑनर्स में आता था, हम उसे पेनलाइज करते थे मार्क्स.
अब पेनलाइज नहीं हो रहा, अब भी कुछ, अब कोई पेनलाइज नहीं है.
नहीं, तो फिर हमें मिनिमम एलिजिबिलिटी में चेक क्या करना है?
मिनिमम एलिजिबिलिटी में
कॉलेज के एंड पे हम क्या चेक करेंगे?
कॉलेज के एंड पे आप ये चेक करोगे, जब आपके पास उसका सीयूटी का स्कोर आएगा और आपके पास क्लास 12th का भी आएगा, तो आप देख लेना कि क्लास 12th में जो सब्जेक्ट उसने पढ़े वही उसने सीयूटी में पढ़े हुए. नंबर 1. नंबर 2 कि जिस स्कोर के बेस पे वो अपनी रैंक क्लेम कर रहा है, जिसको वही रैंक, वही स्कोर एग्जैक्टली है या नहीं है, उसने ये तो नहीं करा कि अकाउंटेंसी को. हालांकि हमारा जो सिस्टम है, वी आर गोइंग टू चेक एवरीथिंग बिफोर वी लॉन्च एनी दिस थिंग. हमारा सब कुछ सिस्टम चेक करेगा. स्टिल आप एक बार टेस्ट चेक कर लीजिए कि ठीक है कि नहीं है, उसने जो चीज बोली वो सही है कि नहीं है, बाकी और कुछ नहीं है.
तीसरी बात, एक मिनट मैडम, तीसरी बात
सर, आपको ना इसमें जो मिनिमम एलिजिबिलिटी है वो क्लास 12th की पासिंग सर्टिफिकेट है वो चेक कर लीजिए, नाम चेक कर लीजिए, डेट ऑफ बर्थ, ये सब चेक करना है. हालांकि जैसे सर ने बोला काफी कुछ है, लेकिन अगर हमसे कुछ छूट भी रहे तो आपके लेवल पे डबल चेक हो जाएगा.
ठीक है मैडम, दैट इज ओके. तीसरी बात मैडम एक मिनट, तीसरी बात मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि क्या होता है कि बच्चे ने जैसे ओबीसी का सर्टिफिकेट अप्लाई किया हुआ है, अब सर्टिफिकेट उसने अपलोड किया नहीं, बट उसके एप्लीकेशन की स्लिप है. अंडरटेकिंग को हम पहले लास्ट ईयर तो अंडरटेकिंग लेते थे, वो तो अब लेनी नहीं. अब मान लीजिए स्टूडेंट ने स्लिप जमा किया कि भी मेरा सर्टिफिकेट अप्लाई किया हुआ मैंने, तो उस केस में क्या करना?
मना कर दिया हमने,
मना कर दिया
हमने मना कर दिया.
जो सर्टिफिकेट होगा
सर उन्होंने ना सीयूईटी में भी भरा होगा, तो सर्टिफिकेट तो तब भी बन जाना चाहिए था, क्योंकि सीयूईटी में भी सर्टिफिकेट अपलोड किया था.
बन जाना चाहिए था.
हम 2 बार सर प्रेस नोटिस निकाल चुके हैं.
क्योंकि देखो, अगर किसी की भी सीट, आज मैं कहता हूं मेरा सर्टिफिकेट बन के आ जाएगा, 3 महीने में रुक जाओ, तो मेरे से नीचे जिस बच्चे ने दिन रात लाइन में खड़े होकर अपना सर्टिफिकेट बनवाया, उसके साथ तो धोखा कर दिया ना मैंने. और मैं एससी की सीट एससी को ही दूंगा, एसटी की सीट एसटी को ही दूंगा, ओबीसी की सीट ओबीसी को दूंगा, ईडब्ल्यूएस की सीट ईडब्ल्यूएस को दूंगा, पीडब्ल्यूडी की पीडब्ल्यूडी को दूंगा. तो मैं किसी के भी राइट पे एनक्रोच नहीं कर रहा. इसीलिए बार बार हमने ये कहा है, और फिर आज हम ये नोटिस निकाल देंगे उन बच्चों के लिए कि अपने सर्टिफिकेट्स तैयार कर लीजिए. जो अब नहीं करेंगे इसके बाद, देन वी विल सी व्हाट बेस्ट वी कैन डू इन इट.
एक बार मैम चेक कर लीजिएगा,
टेस्ट चेक. आप देखिए, कोशिश हमारा सिस्टम जो होगा सब कुछ चेक करेगा, बट सिस्टम है, हम भी पहली बार डेवलप कर रहे हैं. आप लोगों के साथ आप लोग जैसे पहले चेक करते थे, एक बार चेक कर लीजिए. आपको हो सकता है सहूलियत मिले कि हाँ ठीक आ रहा है, लेकिन चेक कर लेंगे, आसान रहेगा.
Sir, suppose a science student wants to take commerce now, तो when you are saying कि subject clarify कर लो, तो उसके पास फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री था, बट उसने CUET दिया, कॉमर्स अकाउंटेंसी
मना कर दिया ना हमने पहले मना कर दिया उसको. नहीं होगा.
अच्छा,
उसको क्लास 12th में जो सब्जेक्ट पढ़े हैं वही उसको देने थे CUET में.
And sir, first November you are saying classes may start.
Tentatively.
Maybe the 1 or 2 lists come after that.
God knows, I can't say anything about it. क्योंकि हमने तो हम we are so open, हमने open round का भी, spot का भी, सबका रखा हुआ है. But इसीलिए कह रहे हैं ना, we have been saying time and again to all the students कि please fill all your options. भाई अब किसी बच्चों ने नहीं भरी, एक सिचुएशन बनाता हूं कि मेरी 70,000 सीटें हैं, मान के चलो कि 70,000 बच्चों ने ही वो ऑप्शन इस तरीके से भरी कि मेरी सारी सीटें अलॉट हो गई. अगर मेरी सीटें अलॉट होगी तो मैं क्यों चलाऊंगा?
Yes, sir. And
6.5 लाख का मैं क्या करूंगा? मुझे जब चाहिए ही 70,000 बच्चा।
yes.
इसीलिए हम कह रहे हैं, मुझे नहीं पता कि किस बच्चे को, कि दूसरे बच्चे ने क्या भरा। आप अपना देखो भाई, जितने कोर्सेज हैं, जितनी ऑप्शंस हैं, जो आप चाहते हो भर दो। जो सीट आपको मिलनी होगी आपकी मेरिट के हिसाब से मिल जाएगी। आपको एडवांटेज इसलिए मिल रहा है कि दूसरे ने नहीं भरा, लेकिन अगर आप नहीं भरोगे तो आपको भी एडवांटेज नहीं मिलेगा।
Sir, next year can we expect this whole process to end a little earlier? I mean, from past 2-3 years.
Can you guarantee me there would not be any COVID next year?
No, we can't.
Then how can I say that? See, there are certain things which are not in my hand.
For female candidate in percentage of cutoff marks?
Already there are several women colleges. Already there are several women colleges, and we 100% know women always fare better than the male students.
Still last year we have been permitted to give.
Let us see the data. You see the data this time also.
Okay.
You see the data of the CUT also. एक सेकेंड
मैम, पीएमएसएस का एक एआईसीटी का सर्कुलर भी सब बच्चों को चला गया था कि उनका एडमिशन हमारी एलोकेशन के साथ होगा। तो दे हैव गॉट दिस लेटर। आई होप दे आर नॉट डिस्टर्बिंग यू नाउ। उनके पास तब वो लेटर नहीं था, उनके पास, सबके पास वो लेटर है। Ma'am, this has not come to our notice. We have not asked anything. No. नहीं। कौन से पोर्टल पे? हमारा सीसास का फॉर्म भरना था बस, तो उसमें पीएम ट्रिपल क्लिक करना है।
वो तो वो बताएंगे मैम। हमारे पोर्टल पे हमने ऐसी कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं मांगी जो किसी भी तरीके की कंट्राडिक्टरी हो। वो बताएंगे जिनका बच्चे का जहां है। मैडम, अब एनी टाइम, आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट सो श्योर, बिकॉज we are giving some opportunity to the students also. We have to give for the opportunities to the students also. आज जैसे मेरे वाइस चांसलर साहब ने सुबह कहा, that was very unfortunate, कि please request the English teachers of your college to check the evaluate the answer sheets of English. Was that fair for to even कि भाई हम टीचर्स को कह रहे हैं कॉपीज चेक कर दो? तो बच्चे हैं तो मैडम कहीं ना कहीं गलती करेंगे, मिस करेंगे। हमें उनको ध्यान में रख के चलना है कि हम उनको कितनी अपॉर्चुनिटी दे सकते हैं। So we are looking for that. We are also equally concerned कि जल्दी सेशन स्टार्ट हो। हम भी चाहते हैं कि हर साल लेट हो गया। We also want कि सेशन टू स्टार्ट इमीडिएटली, बट नहीं हो रहा। क्या कह सकते हैं?
सर, आप पीएमएसएस के बच्चों को क्या उनका वेरिफिकेशन फिजिकल होगा?
सर, पीएमएसएस के बच्चे दोनों तरफ से आ सकते हैं, सुपर न्यूमररी में भी आ सकते हैं और नॉर्मल एलोकेशन में भी आ सकते हैं। ठीक है, तो जब ये इनका हो जाएगा उसके बाद जब आपके पास आएंगे, जैसे पिछले साल करते थे वैसे ही आप वेरिफिकेशन करेंगे।
फिजिकल
जी। ईच कोर्स मैडम, हमने आपके साथ सब कॉलेजों के हर कोर्स का आपसे इंटेक लिया है, हर कोर्स का, और आपसे हमने ब्रेकअप भी मांगा है आपका कि आपकी अनरिजर्व सीटें कितनी है, आपकी एससी की कितनी है, एसटी की कितनी है, ओबीसी की कितनी है, आपने सबका ब्रेकअप हमको दिया है, वो हमने करा है। तो जनरल कैटेगरी में, ओबीसी में, ईडब्ल्यूएस में हमने 20% एक्स्ट्रा बोला है। बाकियों में एससी, एसटी, पीडब्ल्यूडी में 30% एक्स्ट्रा बोला है, सो दैट दीज पर्सन्स कैन कम इन द मेन स्ट्रीम। एडवांटेज दे रहे हैं क्योंकि हमें लग रहा है शायद नहीं होंगे, कम होंगे, तो वो जितने आए हम एडमिशन दे देंगे उनको। विच वन? सारे एडमिशंस तो इसी के थ्रू हैं, सीयूईटी के थ्रू ही हैं। यस, 20% एक्स्ट्रा ना, 20% फॉर
मैम, सिंस minorities, you know, we take it like OBC and UR are 20%.
Any more questions? Any more queries? हाँ जी।
सर, एक रिक्वेस्ट कर दें।
Just last question.
Just one request, please, फीस वाला फॉर्म दे दीजिए। बच्चे हमसे पूछ रहे हैं कि फीस कितनी है, वो अभी तक मैं डेटा डाल नहीं पाई।
Sir, I have one more question related to OBC NCL. Suppose the latest OBC NCL certificate is uploaded, but that certificate is not online made. It is offline made in any district. Most of the districts are e-district, but in Bihar especially, I find in many of the districts they only give offline certificate. So how can we verify that offline certificate on the day of verification? It is very difficult.
देखिए अब कुछ ऐसे मैंने कहा ना ये 6 केसेस आएंगे उसका अब उसको प्रोविजनल एडमिशन तो दीजिए. हम जितनों को भी एडमिशन देते हैं प्रोविजनल एडमिशन है जब तक इनको कंफर्म नहीं करेंगे उनको एडमिशन दीजिए. अगर उसके अब हमें भी कई चीजें आपके पास सर्टिफिकेट आएंगे सही आएंगे गलत आएंगे वो तो वहीं पता चलता है. यू सेंड इट फॉर वेरिफिकेशन. वंस इट इज वेरीफाइड इट इज रॉन्ग कैंसिल द एडमिशंस. ये हुआ है हमारे कॉलेजेस में पहले भी जहां पे फेक सर्टिफिकेट्स भी आए एडमिशंस वर कैंसिल्ड.
So it is very difficult to declare that fake one, sir. That's why I am asking this question.
आप verification
we have to send it to
कंसर्न जिस स्टेट अथॉरिटी से इशू हुआ है वो हमेशा उसी के पास जाता है. उसके अलावा किसी और के पास नहीं भेज सकते आप. जिस अथॉरिटी ने इशू करा है उसी के पास जाएगा वो लेटर देगा आपको.
तो इस केस पे क्या हम यूनिवर्सिटी को पहले इन्फॉर्म करें या डायरेक्ट हम प्रोसीड?
आप डायरेक्टली वहां भेजिए और यूनिवर्सिटी को बेशक आप ये बता दीजिए कि ये सर्टिफिकेट का अभी तक हमारा वेरिफिकेशन नहीं आया है.
ओके
वी विल टेक ए सेकंड स्टेप. और बच्चे को बता दीजिए एक ऐसे केसेस में आप बना के बच्चे को दे दीजिए कि ये सर्टिफिकेट की आपकी वेरिफिकेशन नहीं आई. अगर ये नहीं आएगी इस डेट तक तो वी वुड नॉट अलाउ यू टू सिट इन एग्जामिनेशन.
इट मींस टिल डेट. तो उस समय भी हमें अंडरटेकिंग के जैसा ही परफॉर्म करना
है. ये बच्चे हैं भाई ये बच्चे हैं. मैं कह रहा हूं ना इंग्लिश की मेरी कॉपी आज तक चेक नहीं हुई. वो बच्चे हैं.
थैंक यू सर.
और मेरे माइग्रेशन की डेट मैं बढ़ाता जा रहा हूं. एग्जाम हो चुके मेरे माइग्रेशन की डेट में इसलिए बढ़ाता जा रहा हूं मेरी कॉपीज चेक नहीं हुई. वो बच्चों ने नहीं करनी थी चेक.
अब क्या हो गई है डेट माइग्रेशन की?
30 सितंबर तक ले गया हूं अभी मैं. अब मैं 30 सितंबर तक ले गया हूं कि शायद कॉपीज चेक हो जाए. एनीथिंग एल्स? चलो
Thank you. Ma'am, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. In fact, the CUET scorecard also says accountancy/bookkeeping.
Thank you so much. But please make this information available on your college also. Please arrange webinars explaining all these details to the students. Please inform the students, whosoever is coming to you, to fill as many choices as they can, because somebody would not fill the choice, they would get the admission. So they would be benefited by filling as many choices as they can. Thank you so much and kindly join for a cup of tea.